Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, everybody. How you doing today? Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm your best friend, Uncle Bruce.
Hi, everybody.
Um, I hope you had a good weekend this past weekend. I hope you're having a good morning today, and let's hope you have a great week this week. I've been busy as a beaver, just going and going and going, nonstop activity for me as usual. Doing doing one-on-ones this past weekend, and now getting ready for another series of live shows. Four shows today, one here right now, one this afternoon at 3 o'clock on this channel, then at 7 o'clock Eastern on Traveling with Bruce for members only, including trivia, and then I'm on at 8 o'clock on Traveling with Bruce for the big show, travel in the world of travel, including cruise ships and everything else. So we'll do all kinds of stuff today. Thank you for popping by and seeing me. Thank you, those of you who've been sending me messages through my email and just telling me what how you enjoy the channel and that you enjoy what I bring to you and all of that. Thank you, those of you who were with me this past weekend on one-on-ones. I know that one of my one-on-ones, I had to hit the wrong button when I set it up, and it actually showed as a actually showed as a telecast, and a whole bunch of you popped in and say, "Hi, Uncle Bruce, how you doing?" And I had to I had to redo the settings to make it private, because one-on-ones are not done one-on-one with the world watching. They're done privately between me, myself, and my viewer, and that's how we do it, and that's how we keep it. So, any of you who would like to have a one-on-one, just so you know, if you do have a one-on-one with me, your one-on-one will not be rebroadcast all over the world. That's not how we do that. But I enjoyed them. And what I find interesting about the one-on-ones, those of you who've never had one with me before, I have no idea what it is we're going to talk about, because you're the one asking me the questions. You're the one who's employing me for the hour to pick my brain. And I never know what we're going to cover. And I'm just open-minded, and I kind of go, "How you doing? What's happening? And how can I help you?" And boy, I'll tell you, every one of us needs more than an hour. There are 1 hour sessions that go 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes. And then we have to kind of cut it off because I have to get ready for the next one. And it is kind of interesting to see how all that works. But they're very helpful. They're very useful. I learn a lot doing them. And I think that many of you who've had, I think almost all of you who've had my one-on-ones, feel that you've learned something by the time the hour is over, and we move forward and go on. And a number of you come back and ask for a second, a third, a fourth. Some of you are regulars of mine who have one-on-ones constantly, and I enjoy them. And as long as I enjoy them, I'll keep doing them, and we'll go from there. Thank you for those of you who are members of this channel, those of you who are sponsors of this channel. Great that you're part of this channel and community. Really love it. And those of you sending me private emails with updates on some of the stocks we're following, I love that a lot. Appreciate that, and keep them coming. What do I want to talk about today in my morning rant? Because we're an hour away from opening. We're up 152 on the Dow right now. We're up 17.75 on the S&P 500. We're up 77 points on the Nasdaq. These are the pre-market openings with about, an hour, 55 minutes to go before we open for trading. The oil market, we're down about 60 cents, 58 cents. We're around $80.21. We were just under $80 a little while ago this morning, around 79.50. Why is the oil market weak? All you're hearing, I'm sure, all you're getting are, forecasts from experts who are telling us that if we have a cold winter, oh gosh, oil's going to be $100 a barrel, and be prepared to pay much more for gas. And the president of the United States is going to try and do everything he can to lower oil and gas prices. And by the way, there's a climate conference that was being held in Glasgow to lower global warming, which means using less oil, burning less gasoline. How does that work? How do you improve the world's health ecologically and produce less pollution, but keep gas prices nice and cheap for American drivers. How do you do that? I know how President Biden does it. I know how all presidents do it. They go to these climate conferences for the first 2 days and then they leave. You don't stick around for the next 5 days because in the last 5 days is where all the details get worked out. And these guys are long gone. Every prime minister, every king, every president, every leader, they're gone. They're back home, and they leave their underlings to take care of it. You handle it. Did you notice the big headlines that came out all weekend long about what's going to happen? You didn't? Oh gosh, darn it! You didn't notice the headlines. You know why you didn't notice? There weren't any. Why weren't there any? Because everyone left. All the leaders left town with all the media, and all that was left were the grunts who had to work out this arrangement as to how to save the planet from overheating. But of course, China didn't send anybody. India didn't really send anybody. Russia wasn't there. I mean, none of the leaders showed up. So, where's this going? Nowhere. What does it mean for the planet? Disaster. You know, I love the attention span of the world media and us. I love how this works. Our attention span is now 8 seconds. It's global. We all have an 8 second attention span. In the United States, Canada, elsewhere, we have our attention span is one election cycle. That's all we care about now is getting our boy and girl into the offices that we want them running, because they're going to get things done the way we want things done. And there you go. And that's the world today. 8 second attention span with political ads nonstop. The business to be in, I think, is owning TV stations. I think if you can own local TV stations, you can become really rich, because you're selling ads to all these candidates for city council and marshal and school board trustees and governors and state senators and state congressmen, and then congressmen in the USA, U.S. congressmen, presidents of the United States, all the primaries, all the runoffs. Wow, that's the business to be in, is the advertising business for and literally owning the media, owning the TV station in your community, and selling ads to these morons who want to lead us as if they know anything we don't know. Do you actually think that they're smarter than you are with the common sense decisions you have to make in your life? No, they're not. These folks don't have jobs. They don't have jobs. They're politicians. That's all they do. They're public opinion readers and masters with all their assistants to get reelected, to keep staying in those cushy government jobs while we work our butts off to make the ends meet. I figured that out in my 20s. I don't know about you guys, but I figured it out when I was in my 20s. I'm in my 60s, and I'm a little crusty about it, I suppose. Anyway, I do not take them seriously because they are not serious people. They are kooky, baby. There's some real kooks out there, and how they get elected, beyond me. I'm getting away from politics now to say hi to everybody, and also to say that back to the one-on-ones. A kind of an interesting theme keeps coming up, and I'm really excited about it. A lot of you out there who watch me are beginning to figure out that, boy, if I hang around with Uncle Bruce and his gang, I will hear a lot of talk from him, and I will read a lot of comments from his viewers about how we're making income from the market, not from just buying and selling stocks or buying and selling contracts, but actually writing option contracts. And a lot of you want to learn how this works. You really are curious. Just how does this actually work, Bruce? Because this is fascinating to me. I had no idea that this world existed. I had no idea that you could do this. I had no idea that you could do it the way you're doing it. And I had no idea that I, as a small investor, also can write options just like the hedge funds do, the pension funds do, the ETFs do, insurance companies, major banks, country pension funds, like national pension funds. I had no idea that I could do that like they do that. Well, the trick of it is, of course, is that um, if you are a mutual fund and you have $100 million under administration, and you divvy that $100 million up into 500 pieces, and you own, this and this and this and this, some bonds and some preferred shares and common shares and treasury notes and everything else, you're going to own stock in a lot of companies. You might have 200 different companies in your mutual fund that you own, and you have anywhere from 500 to 50,000 shares of each of these companies. I'm talking about a small mutual fund. I'm not talking about multi-billion mega fund. I'm talking about a small mutual fund. These people, they're charging the mutual fund holders a fee, a percentage of the value of the fund to run the fund. And um, this fee pays for the personnel to make decisions as to what to do with the money and to handle the units, to handle the mailings and handle the statements and get you your tax information every year, all that stuff, the whole enchilada. Well, one of those folks, one of those departments is the option department, options, where they have options traders and they have option writers. And these folks, their job is to enhance the performance of the fund by generating revenue by selling call options against stock that they have to bring in extra cash. And this extra cash ends up in the pot to be reinvested and grow the fund, which makes everybody happy. It makes the investors happy. It makes the managers happy. And the bigger the fund gets, the more people are hired by the fund to manage the fund, and it just feeds itself out and out. And if you're in the top 10% of the management of the mutual fund, you're making the big bucks every year. And if you're in the next 30%, you're making pretty good bucks. And then if you're the rest of it, you're making a wage to go to work every week. So writing options is a big part of income and performance for almost every hedge fund out there. Hedge funds, there are probably 3,000 of them in the world, maybe more. They manage $4 trillion at least now, $4 trillion at least. And this holds everything. Hedge funds, I've talked to you about this before, they invest in every conceivable asset you can imagine, from real estate, shopping malls, hotels, airlines, gas and oil and gas pipelines, ships, containers that go on ships, factories, you name it, and stocks. And when it comes down to it, a lot of these hedge funds love investing in the stock market because the stock market is a very, very liquid place, like the bond market, the treasury market, very liquid. You can get in and out and move your money around and shift. And they have option writers, many option writers. And I'm turning you guys into individual portfolio managers, is I guess what a way to say it. I'm turning a lot of you folks into individual portfolio managers. And some of you have 5 or 10 different stocks, and you're writing options on a couple of them right now, and you're learning how to do it, and you're getting better at it, more confident at it, and you're moving on with it. And my job is to try to keep you from making mistakes and keeping you on a path that will work for you, but also trying to keep you getting off track. Because what happens in life, and this is normal, what I'm going to tell you, this exists. When you get successful at something, sometimes you get overconfident at what it is you're doing. And you start to kind of get all full of yourself. And we're all guilty of this in whatever it is we do. Even if you're in Las Vegas and you're sitting at a quarter machine and you put in a couple of quarters and you hit a jackpot and it pays you $5, $10, and then you're rolling that, you're just throwing that money in the machine because you figure I'm playing with house money, and then you win a $25 jackpot, you start to feel invincible. You start to go, oh, I'm doing great. I got this thing figured out. I'm using house money. And so you walk around the floor looking for the next machine to get the big win on. And after about an hour, you put it all back into another machine, and you've lost it all. And now you're getting hungry. You're going, where can I go and eat? Because this isn't working for me anymore. We get all full of ourselves, and it's the same at the billionaire level, the trillionaire level. Shortly, we'll have trillionaires. billionaires, millionaires, and hundredaires, and the negative thousandaires. All of us who are broke or not broke. I don't care if you pick empties, take empties back to the depot, or whether you make millions of dollars a week. We get full of ourselves from time to time, and we need to be brought down to earth. And your buddy Bruce is here to tell you that when you write options, you can do well on them. You can do really well on options, but you have to be disciplined in the entire process. And this is a 66-year-old guy just telling you the experience that he has over the years. I've had clients who've done really well for a while, and then they just lost focus on what it is they were doing, and they didn't do so well for a while. Then they refound their focus, did well for a while again, and then lost it. I had clients who would start with me as a broker, move on to another broker because I'm not doing what they want to do anymore, because they want to change the game and go crazy. And so they find a broker who lets them go crazy, and then they lose a whole bunch of money over there. And then I hear that, they shifted from another broker to another broker and to another broker. They're looking for their broker to give them their final home run investment that'll make it all good. And in the meantime, I'm just chugging along with my diehard clientele, and we're going through thick and thin together year after year, trying to just make it work for us, because it doesn't always work every day, every week, every month. Sometimes markets do stupid things, and you got to be ready for stupid things. Anyway, learning a lot about what it is you're looking for, and I'm not surprised. I'm pleased and excited for many of you who are here. You are learning the art of how to write an option contract into a market. You are learning how options deteriorate in value, especially in their last 2 to 3 weeks of time that they have left to live. You're learning how to pick off which option to write as the last month of the option's life comes into focus. You're figuring out how you can sell a contract for a good price, buy a contract for a good price using stink bids and stink offers. That I keep hammering to you. You're figuring out that in the hour before the opening, you're supposed to put in your stink bids for the week on your contracts that you have outstanding, whether you're a seller or you're a buyer. You are long contracts that you're thinking of selling at a nice price. You put in stink offers way above the market right now that get them in there, but don't put them out there at say the option is now $6.50 to $7, and you're thinking, if I can get $9, I'm going to be a happy guy. You're not going to put an order in to sell at $9. No. That's stupid. No. Everybody puts in orders at nice round numbers like that. No, you put in your order at $8.95. You put in your sell order 1 nickel below the nice round number up there. So you're first in line. Let those 40, 50, 60 sellers who are way up there at 9, let them all wait and hope let them hope they can get out. Because if the buy wave is not that strong and it gets up to the $8.95 level, to the 9 level, you're out at $8.95. The $9 purchases might only take out a quarter of all the options waiting to go at 9. You already left town at $8.95, and you're looking to make your next deal. On the buy side, it's the same thing. If you think you wrote a contract for $1.75 last week, and it's sitting right now at $1.30, $1.40, and you're hoping to buy it back at 50, 55 cents, put a bid in at 51 or 56. Don't be putting in bids at 55 or 50, nothing around there either. Be first in line at an odd number for your contract. Stink bids. So you're learning how to do that, and that is good stuff. You're also learning the art of figuring out what a decent profit is when you do a transaction on an option. Many of you have had situations where, if you're writing a call, you've written a call for $1.50, let's say, brought in $1.50, $150 contract, and you're trying to figure out what's a good price to buy it back at. And the trade is working out for you because the shares that you wrote the contracts against are not going higher, they're flat, or they're slumping a little bit, and the contract is dropping in price. And you wrote a 2-week contract or a 3-week contract, and it's been a week now, and that contract is dropping. And you're trying to figure out, should I just let this thing die and evaporate at the end of the week because on Friday it expires? Should I just let it expire worthless? And a number of you are beginning to figure out, talking to me one on one in particular, but also in this show, that if you sell a contract for $1.50 and with 4 days left to go, it's sitting at 15 or 20 cents. The most you can make now for the next 4 days is 15 more cents on your contract. That's all that's left in the contract. Theoretically, if it's trading at 15 cents with 4 days to go, it is worthless. It is probably just trading on a little bit of time value as it dribbles out the next 4 days. But in reality, what you could be doing is buying back that contract at 16 cents, getting out of that position, cashing in from 150 or 125 down to 16, take your money, and you could be already writing a brand new contract for a week from Friday. Because if you did that, you're getting 4 extra days of depreciation in your hand because you're writing the contract with 9 or 10 days to go before it expires rather than with 7 days to go. Because you waited until Friday for the last penny on that 15-cent contract. You gave away 4 days of depreciation on that contract that was 175 because it's now 125. So you let the contract die for nothing and you write the new contract at 125, where 4 days ago, you could have bought that contract back at 16, the old one, and written this new one for 175. The difference is 50 cents a contract, 16 cents cost to you, 34 cents in your pocket. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, 34 cents, Bruce. What's the big deal? Why are you getting all excited about 34 cents all the time, Bruce? I don't get you, man. 34 cents is $34 a contract. 10 contracts at a time is $340. You do this twice a month. That's $680 a month. Multiply that by a year. You're giving away $78,000. Why are you giving away $78,000 for 4 days for a 15-cent pickup? Forget about it. Buy it back. Move on. Because the trick here is in the options market. You're going to win if you can score the time depreciation, but you won't get all of it. You don't need all of it. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. You may find that you write a contract for $1.50 and you can buy it back in 2 days for 50 cents or 60 cents. Do it. Lock that baby in because normally in 2 days, that contract from 150 would go down to maybe 135. But if you're already down to 50, 60, 70 cents, take the money off the table. Sit on the sidelines for a little bit. Watch the market. If the stock had a bit of a dip, and has now a bit of a recovery, rewrite the contract again. And you might not get 150 the second time. You might only get 130 the second time because after all, a few days have gone by. But it goes up to 130 again. You write it a second time. And you're sitting there going, that thing pops down to 40, 50 cents. I'm out of here. I'm going to buy that thing back and walk. But at the end of the day, you're going to do your math and go, I made 80 cents on it the first time. I made 90 cents on it the second time. I made $1.70 on this one contract. I rolled it, like I sold it, bought it back, sold it, bought it back. Fantastic. Now you made $1.70 on a contract in about a 10-day window where you were hoping to make 80 cents in the 10-day window. You actually doubled your return. This is successful option writing. This is what the pros are doing in those office towers in Manhattan. They are watching the stocks and they are measuring return, risk versus return versus time. And they're asking themselves, do I want to hang around with my millions of dollars at risk? Because these guys are writing thousands of contracts a day. Do I want to maintain these positions or this position on this one stock, millions of dollars on the line, or do I take the dough now and look at writing a new contract that is a week longer in length or 2 weeks longer in length for a big fat premium? Because they too are doing the hunt that you're doing. They're looking for option depreciation, time depreciation. That's what this game is all about. This is the mentality you have to convince yourself to play. Gone are the days where you're thinking, I'm going to buy a contract for $1 and it's going to go to $10. This is great. I'm going to win a lottery here. Those days are over once you start writing options. Because when you're an option writer, you're not thinking that mentality at all. You're on the opposite side of the market. And you're looking for contracts that you can write for $10 and buy back for $1, like in GameStop, for example, or that you can write for $2 and buy back for 40 cents, like SoFi or Matterport. You're looking for contracts like AMC, where you're writing beautiful premium contracts at, say, $3 and buying them back for $1.20. You might buy them in 1 day, 3 days, 7 days. It doesn't matter. When the deal closes, the deal closes. Each one is its own separate deal. Never is one related to the other. And you cannot guarantee yourself that, oh, every Tuesday I make a bunch of money. You can't say it. You might want to do a rollover day on Wednesday. So you might decide that every Wednesday is the day that I write new contracts that expire a week from this Friday, 9 days out. Every Wednesday is rollover day for me. And on next Wednesday, I'm going to buy back these contracts that were written for a week Friday. They have 2 days left to go next week, Wednesday. That's when I buy them back and I create new contracts for 9 days out. And I do rollover Wednesdays, or I do rollover Tuesdays, or I do rollover Thursdays. And always avoiding Friday, the last day of the contract's life. But there are times where a stock will move on Thursday or Friday, the day after you've written new contracts, and you can already get out with a nice profit. Or you find that the market goes up on you beyond more than you thought, and now you're doing rollovers of contracts where you're buying back your existing contract, selling a new contract for that next week Friday, or the Friday after that now at an even higher level, raising your exercise price, bringing in more cash, and executing a rollover. Now, that next Wednesday, you might not make a transaction at all. You might wait till the Wednesday after that. But again, it depends on the stock, because sometimes stocks move up. Tuesday, they move up. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you've done a rollover. And now by Wednesday of the next week, the stock has backed off dramatically. And now you are doing a repurchase of that contract, and you're writing a brand new contract for a week Friday at a different exercise price. You're always adjusting. You're always willing to adjust your option position, your outstanding option holds, depending on what the market is telling you to do. This is what my viewers are learning now, day in and day out, night in and night out, because they're studying and they're watching and they're paying attention, and they're now beginning to figure out the nuances of this market that we're in. Some of you ask me about the wheel strategy all the time. You always bring up this idea about the wheel strategy. What do you think about the wheel strategy, Bruce? I'm thinking about the wheel strategy. I'm really into this. I have mixed feelings about the wheel strategy. I met someone back in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe. And it might have been that I've gone to one of those. I don't know if you went to them or not, but my employer would always show me, I would always get these flyers on my desk, say the Canadian Securities Institute, the folks like the SEC. They would have seminars and presentations, and they would bring out what we would call motivational speakers, or they would bring out experts in various fields to come out and have a kind of a chat over a lunch. And I would go to some of these as branch manager and VP for my firm in the area I was in Western Canada. I would go to these. And I think it was at one of those when I heard the first time I heard the new expression, or the expression of that time, called the KISS, the new method called the KISS method, KISS. And I thought, what is that? And the guy got on stage and said, the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. Always tell yourself, keep it simple, stupid. People overthink things. And I knew that. I was guilty of it, and my brokers were guilty of it, and my staff was guilty of it, my clients were guilty of it. We're all guilty of overthinking. And sometimes I look at these wheel strategies that are out there, and I kind of go, this is too complicated. There's too many what ifs. Just keep it simple, stupid, is my thinking. And if you own 500 shares of SoFi, or 1,000 shares, or 100 shares, you own 100 GameStop, 300, 500, 5,000 shares, whatever it is you own, you can write options against it if you have 100 or more shares of any of these positions. For every 100 shares you have, you can write an option. You know that. And I say, you know what? If you're an option writer, just zero in on being an option writer and forget about going into cash secured puts, then going into covered calls, getting exercised and all this. Forget about all this stuff. Just stick to the one thing only. And the one thing is being an option writer. And if you've written an option, on SoFi. The stock's at $22 a share on the open market, and you've written the 24, and it expires next week, Friday. You're looking for that $24 contract to depreciate in value between now and next week, Friday. And the time will eat it alive if the stock stays under 24. Now, if the stock does go down to $20 this afternoon, well, of course, the stock will drop now. If it drops to 20 tomorrow, it'll drop tomorrow, whatever. And you might have an opportunity to buy the contract back earlier than you had thought. You'll take it. You'll buy it back at an odd number on a stink bit, and you'll sit on the sidelines now and wait for your next opportunity to write a new contract. And sometimes you wait a day or two or three before you write your next contract, which is something else you guys are learning on this channel. You don't always have to be in the market. You don't always have to be holding a position that is active. There are days where you don't do a dang thing because the market isn't right for you right now. Pricing isn't quite right. The vibe isn't right. There was a correction on SoFi, and you're waiting for a bit of a recovery, and you're going to wait a couple of days to see how it peters out, how it works out. And it does pop up a little bit and gets a little stronger. You're now going to write another $24 contract again. This is how this game is played by the pros. They're professionals who are watching the market. They're not jumping in and out of it all the time. There are times where they are busy. Yeah, they're trading like crazy. Then there's other times where they are observing and watching to see how it fits for them, because you don't control everything in the market. You don't control the oil market, the gold market, the interest rate market, the inflation market, the bond market, the presidential speech at 4:00 this afternoon market. You don't, none of that. You're just an observer of all of these other effects, all these other movements, to then pick your spots to bring in your trade and maximize your return. This is something that comes with experience. You learn this with experience over time. Okay. What else is I going to tell you about? You learn a lot about options. You figure out pretty quickly, if you're into options, that it's a whole other market. It's different than the stock market, and yet there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences. And you realize also that one can't be there without the other. You can't have an options market unless there's a stock market first. The stocks have to trade and move before an options market can exist, and one echoes off the other. And your trick, your game plan is to try to win off of the echo effect of a price movement on stock versus your options. The options market is very liquid. It's very huge, trillions of dollars on the line at all times. And it takes no prisoners. The options market is a brutal place. It has no soul. It has no mercy. The clock is always running on the option market. And a lot of my viewers figured out very quickly, oh my God, I can lose everything. If I buy a call that expires this Friday, I could lose everything on this thing, because that's what happens to call options that are out of the money. They become worthless. And you do not want to be that person. You want to be on the other side of the market, taking advantage of that kind of person. In effect, I keep telling you guys, you're going to be the casino, not the casino player on the floor. You're going to be the guy who owns the slot machines, not the guy who plays the slot machines. And that's the difference between being a writer and just being an investor in options. Now, you can do both. Of course, I do talk to you about doing both sides of the market. I talk to you about buying options on stuff like ATIP and Aspire and 23andMe, stocks that are under $20. I talk to you about being an option holder, but being long-term holders. Some of you keep forgetting that. You hear the, oh yeah, you should buy options part, but you don't hear the other part about buying April's next year instead of November's this year. And you then come clean and go, well, I kind of have options that expire Friday and I'm getting my butt handed to me. Yeah, welcome back. Sometimes it's not how much you make in the market that makes you, that determines your success. It's how much you lose in the market that determines your success. And you're better off if you have extra cash to not buy options, but to buy stock that you can write options against. That is the win strategy, actually. because every time you add 100 shares to your portfolio, you can write another option. And every time you can write another option, you have another income source coming in. It might be the same stock you're writing options on now. It might be a different one that you're accumulating. But at the end of the day, your game plan should be to liquidate out of winning option trades, hopefully, into stock that will now become stock that you write options on. Because option writers have a propensity to stick around an awful long time. They are in the market for decades, making lots of cash. Because once they get into the business of writing, they don't want to do anything else because it's a win strategy. People hate losing, but I understand that people love gambling. I get it. The good news about option writing, though, if you're a gambler, is there are times where you can do day trades on option writes. There are times where you write an option in the morning at $1.10, and an hour later that contract is 70 cents, and you're buying it back for a lovely 40-cent profit. You just flipped 100 of them, you made $4,000. There's nothing wrong, nothing finer than doing something like that. But once you become a writer, you get addicted to that kind of playing, or you love to look for contracts that you can write that are going to crap out, and you're the one offering crumbs to the losers at the end of the day. It might be 3 days before the option expires, it might be on the day of expiry. Totally up to you how you play this. So again, thank you for coming around here and joining this guy, following the options market. I have classes, of course, on how you can do this, how you can learn all the little nuances of the options market. You have to go to my website called stockmarketswithbruce.ca, and you can find the classes there. There's a tab on the top of the webpage showing you the class link, and you head over there. You'll see 10 classes available that I've created already. You can watch one at a time whenever you want, and they're about 2 hours long each. So there's 20 hours of instruction for you available. If you really want to be successful in the options market, make an investment in your profession. If you want to get into this area and catch these classes, and then hang around here with us and watch how we do it, and watch and listen to how we talk about what we're doing, and learn how it's done. It's a whole new terminology. It's a whole new psychology. A lot of you have figured out very quickly, you go, this is the opposite of what I'm doing now. I'm going, yeah, it's the exact opposite of what you're doing now. And you have to ask yourself, how you doing now? Are you any good at buying options on an ongoing basis? Do you win more often than you lose? When you lose, do you lose everything? And when you win, you only make 20%? Do you win 5 times out of 6 to cover your losses? Or are you constantly putting more money into the market and you're always losing it? Maybe you should be a writer. I know a lot of you out there have stock that you've owned for a long time, and you've just sat on it, haven't done anything with it. It might be time to learn how to write options on stock that you're sitting on and you're going to sit on that you like, to enhance your revenue flow to your account. I can tell you right now, if you're 35 years old, or you're 45 or 55 or whatever age you are, you will never be this young ever again. Tomorrow is another day, and it's coming, and you've lost today. You've lost this year, you've lost next year, and the year after. Time will continue to run and eat us alive as we get older. And if you want to make some money, you better start making it now, because the market isn't going to hand it to you. You got to go and get it. But there's ways to get money out of this market, and that is accommodating the gamblers that are dying to play the options market, and being one of the generous souls out there that loves to write call options and put them out into the market and say, here, you can play with mine too. You can play with all the options that the hedge funds have written for you, all the options that the pension funds have written for you, and all the mutual funds, and mine. I'm going to add mine to the mix, and now go forth and play all you want. While in the meantime, you got the stopwatch in your hand, and you're watching that time disappear, and it's money in your pocket. If you know what you're doing and you do it right, you love the passage of time. Where most option players hate the passage of time. They hate it because they see their options constantly shrinking in value, especially if they're out of the money and the stock does not deliver. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to clients where we've had option players playing a stock, and the stock has to go up $5 a share, and then they score a nice home run. And the stock does go up $5 a share the day after their options expire. That's when it happens. I have seen this happen a zillion times. I've heard the story a gazillion times from every broker I've ever known, from clients I've ever run into. How many times have clients had options way too soon before expiry? Way too short, and they've lost it all. And the stock actually did go up. They did all the due diligence on the company. They did all the due diligence on the trading of the stock, all the due diligence on its pluses, its minuses, its support levels, its resistance levels. They did all this hard work, hours and hours and hours, weeks and weeks and weeks. Then they bought their options positions, and only to see them go to zero. And a week later, the options, the stock came through, and they watched the train leave the station because they were broke. They couldn't afford a train ticket to get on the next train that was leaving town. They had to watch the next train leave without them, and they blew it. Where the option writers are sitting there going, hey, man, if the stock doesn't move, I win. If the stock goes down, I win. If the stock goes up, I still win. Even if the stock goes way up, I still win because I have moves at my disposal to make money and to make adjustments to my portfolio that I always stay ahead of the gamblers. This is the secret that option writers have over option players. And option players, many of them do not know that. They don't get it. They can't compute it in their head. They cannot fathom it. And so they're thinking, I have to buy a contract at $1, sell it at $5, or $2 and sell it at 10. That's how I do it. That's how I've been told it's done. That's the mentality. And when I make you write contracts, I make you do the hardest transaction first. The first transaction you make is the hardest transaction in the entire process of making money with option writing. And that is, you have to sell the contract first. The first move you make is a sell order. Most of you are not very experienced at sell orders. You guys are terrible at sell orders. Most of the time, when you have sell orders, you're losing money. You're selling at the market to get out because you're all frustrated you didn't make money on a stock or whatever it was. But with option writing, the first move you make is a sell order to take your position. The second move you make is to buy the contract back at a lower price. It's easier to buy than sell. Always easier to buy than sell. It's easier to buy a car than to sell a car. It's easier to buy a house than to sell a house. It's easier to buy any item like furniture at a furniture store than try to sell a piece of furniture later. Always easier to buy. And on the markets, it's exactly the same thing. It's so easy to buy and so hard to sell, because most people ask me, Bruce, when's a good time to sell? When should I sell this? I'm up 185% on this investment. Is this a good time to sell? Always people asking me all the time. I don't know when the good time is to sell. With option writing, you got to sell first. That's the hard transaction. You learn that, you're 60% of the way to make money. 60% of the way they're already to making money, more than halfway. Now it's just putting in a stink bid on the buy side and then watching the market. And whether you roll over your contract or you buy the contract back at a nice low price, that's the next step. That's the easy part. It's actually quite easy. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you don't mind this little rant and this whole chat about the whole options thing. We're about 16 minutes away from opening right now. Looks like we're going to be positive today to start the day. The Dow's up 140, S&P up 16, NASDAQ up 65. Watching the world go by. The oil is back under $80 again, 79.72. We're down $1.07 a barrel. Lots of talk about interest rates, lots of talk about inflation, lots of talk about supply chain problems, disruptions, lots of talk about the Christmas business. How is it going to go? Lots of talk about the infrastructure program, lots of talk about the social programs that are now being haggled out in Washington. There are people who love all this, hate all this, don't give a darn. Then there's the rest of the planet that watches America very closely and keeps an eye on it. And then there's us who are in the middle of it all, trying to figure out where everything's going and how it works for us and how we're gonna make it work for us. And I welcome all of you to the show and the channel. I'm glad you're here. Those of you who are members, I want to say thank you for being members of this channel. Those of you who are not members, please consider strongly becoming a member of this channel and joining us on our shows, live shows. You're more than welcome to comment once you are a member of this channel, and I'd love to have you do that. On Wednesday nights, I go live prime time, 8 o'clock in the evening, Wednesday nights, for members only. So if you're going to become a member of this channel today or tomorrow or Wednesday, keep in mind that you will be invited to join me 8 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock prime time, where we will talk about what's happened Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and what we're going to think what's going to happen Thursday, Friday. And it's a wide open Q&A show. I do my best to try to answer as many of your questions as possible, and we don't have to worry about the stock market getting in the way of our chat, because the market is closed, and we're able to just cover what's going on together. Last Wednesday was our first ever show. If you're a member of this channel, you're always able to go back to watch these private shows. I believe you go to the community tab or something like that. You can find the link to the show from last Wednesday. This Wednesday, I'll be sending out an alert to all members for the 8 o'clock evening show. You'll get your alert if you're a member of this channel, and then join in and hang out with us and ask away any questions you have, or just watch what others are asking and see if what they're talking about is what you want to learn about. And we'll kind of talk about the markets and talk about options and everything else, and see if we can find ways to make even more money. I got an email Friday night that I'm really appreciative of, and I wanted to talk to you about right now. And it had to do with the Spire, the shares of Spire. And I found this a fascinating article, really fascinating article. And I thought I would bring this up to you. For those of you who need a refresher, Spire Global Inc., SPIR symbol, they're taking over a company called Exact Earth, which is a company trading in Canada on a Canadian market. And the deal is that the Canadian shares were about $1.50 or so, $1.40, $1.50 Canadian funds when the announcement came out that management of Exact Earth and management of Spire had agreed to a takeover deal, and that Spire would take over Exact Earth, make it a wholly owned subsidiary. All Exact Earth employees would stay right where they are, doing what they keep on doing, but they're now part of the big New York traded company, Spire. And the deal went over well. The vibe went over well with investors. Now, the deal is that for every share of Exact Earth you have, you will get $2.50 a share Canadian from Spire in cash, plus 1/10 of a Spire share. So when the deal was announced, Spire was about $12 a share, something like that, on its way to 15, 18. And Exact Earth was around $1.40, $1.50. Immediately the next day, Spire shares started trading at over $3 a share. They went to like $3.50, $3.80. And of course, that makes sense, because every shareholder of Spire knows they're getting $2.50 a share in cash for every share they've got, Canadian. And they were only trading at 140 Canadian, so obviously they're going to trade immediately at 250. But they're also getting 1/10 of a share of Spire. So Spire, which was $12, that's $1.20 in stock, US $1.20 in stock, on top of the 250 Canadian in cash. So if you convert the $1.20 into a Canadian money, you add about 30%. You get about $1.50 Canadian on top of the $250 cash. That's a $4 deal, and Exact Earth started trading around $4. Both managements agreed that this is the deal we're going to make. Both management have agreed to their shareholders. We're voting on this. We're going for it. And the vote is this week on the 18th. So in 3 days, the final shareholder vote will be done. I can tell you that in the case of Exact Earth, over 90% of the shareholders are going to vote yes on this deal. It's obviously going to happen because nobody wants the stock back to 150 a share. It's trading at a higher level. And it's a good deal because both companies now will be one. The books can be consolidated into one corporation. The employees of Exact Earth will now have stock options, likely through their incentive program at work, through their employee savings plans, into Spire. And Spire, of course, will own Exact Earth. It'll all be one company, and they are both expanding their books dramatically, very quickly. They're both growing at a very fast rate. So good move. Corporately, great move. Now, the question is, why is it, though, that Spire shares, which were trading at $12 to $15 and ultimately at about $18 after all this was announced, why is it that Spire just got clobbered on the open market? And why is Spire sitting at $5.30 a share right now? $5.30, $5.40, depending on what quote you look at. And a viewer of mine sent me an email saying, I did some due diligence on this deal, and I thought I'd mention it to you for you to kind of think about. And I've been thinking about this thing all weekend long. And I find this to be incredibly fascinating. First of all, there's only about 50 million shares of the Canadian company in existence. There's only 50 million shares. So at the end of the day, only 5 million shares of Spire will come out of the treasury of Spire for those 50 million shares. It'll be $2.50 a share in cash, Canadian, plus 1/10 of a share. So 1/10 of 50 million shares is 5 million shares. And so only 5 million shares of Spire will be issued by the company to close the deal on this merger. All right. Now, Spire is at $5.30 a share right now, American. And if you do the math, you have to say to yourself, wait a minute, hey, hold on a second. If I own one share of this Canadian company, I get $2.50 Canadian for it in cash, and I get 1/10 of a Spire share, which is $5.30 a share, which is 53 cents American. Convert it to about 68 cents Canadian. Then you add 68 cents to the 250 Canadian, you come up with 318 Canadian. And you're sitting there going, I'm getting 318 Canadian for my Canadian stock. What's the Canadian stock trading at? On Friday, it was $3. $3 Canadian. And I thought, this is interesting. The stock is $3 Canadian on the Exact Earth. Now, which stock controls which stock? If Exact Earth trades at 3, does that mean Spire trades at 5.30 or less? Or if Exact Earth trades at 4, does that mean Spire goes up in value? Or if Spire trades at 6, does that mean Exact Earth goes up to 3.30 or 3.50 or 3.80 a share? Which one dominates which one? That was my first question. The second question is, why would, I've been asking this for weeks now, you know this, why would have Spire gone down? Why would Spire go down to 5.30 a share? They had the cash to buy this company. They need $2.50 a share times 50 million shares. They need 125 million Canadian dollars. They have that. It's only 90 million Americans. That's not a problem. 95 million Americans. They have more than that. The stock is no big deal. It's 1/10 of a share. It's 5 million shares out of treasury. This is a nothing burger. So I like that deal. Why did Spire get crushed is what I wanted to know. And I was trying to figure, well, you got to think about arbitrage traders. These are guys and girls that will buy something here, sell something there, and try to make a profit on the differential. In the old days, when I was a broker, it was not uncommon where General Electric would trade on the Toronto Exchange in Canadian money, and General Electric would trade on the New York Stock Exchange in American money. And sometimes the price of the stock would be off a little bit, where you could buy the Canadian stock for Canadian money, sell it right away in the American market, and the differential in price would be the exchange rate, and the exchange rate would be higher for the Canadian to sell into the American market, or sometimes it would be better to sell in the American market and buy in the Canadian market. Sometimes it would be one way or the other better off. And there would be bankers and brokers and specialists who would flip 5,000 GM at a time to try to score a $200 gain on the currency fluctuation, or $150 or whatever it was, especially pro traders that didn't pay commission back then in the 70s and the 80s. Nowadays, these stocks all trade through computer, matching, and there isn't too much difference. But this thing here, Spire versus Exact Earth, we have a discrepancy. At 5.30 a share on Spire, that's 53 cents a share, 1/10 of a share. If I sell short one share of Spire to you at 5.30 a share, you buy it, I sell it to you. I now have $5.30 a share in cash, US, and I'm short one share of Spire. But if I have 10 shares of the Canadian stock at $3, I buy it at 3, I'm going to get, that's a $30 purchase, by the way, I buy 10 shares. I'm going to get $25 from Spire when this deal gets done, this takeover deal. So I'm only out now $5 Canadian, and for $5 Canadian, I get one share of Spire. Because let me come in, recalculate this. If I buy 10 Canadian shares, I will get a Spire share, because it's 1/10 of a share per Canadian share. 10 Canadian shares, one Spire. If I short you one share at 5.30, I have 5.30 US. So I get 5.30 US cash from you, and I have to get $5 a share Canadian from the takeover to make it worth my while, because I've already got the $25. I already got the $25 from Spire. And it works because I only need 5 Canadian dollars, and I just got $5.30 American from you. Convert your American money into Canadian money, that's $6.80. I get $6.80 in Canadian money for the $5 that I need to close the deal. I'm up $1.80 on 10 shares of the Canadian company, which is 18 cents a share for the Canadian company in profit to me as an arbitrager. You see what I'm getting at? So in effect, you guys out there could theoretically short Spire, buy the Canadian company, and make the difference. The problem is, here's the catch. There's always a catch. The Canadian stock doesn't trade very much. It's a real thin trader. You can't get millions of shares of this stuff. And I kind of wonder, all the shares of Spire that have been sold into the market, how many millions of shares of Spire that have been sold to drive it down here are truly short sales that were supposed to be covered by buying the Exact Earth shares from the Canadian sellers. This is what I'm wondering about. And I have to tell you, I don't think there's enough Canadian stock, one, available, free trading to get, and I don't think they've bought enough. I think that the Spire shorters are short more stock than they think they're short. They think in their minds they can buy this Canadian stuff up, but I don't think they can. I have a feeling they're going to be short. And all the insiders of Exact Earth, they can't sell their stock right now. They can't pull this deal off. They just have to wait for the takeover. Why would they be in a hurry? They're going to get their shares. They're going to get their $2.50 a share. They're getting their money. They're getting the stock. They have no worries. They're not going anywhere. They have jobs. They're not leaving the company. They're part of this new merged entity. They have every reason to want the stock to go up. They want Spire to go higher, right? Because they're still part of it. I will bet you that 80% of the shareholders of Exact Earth who are getting $2.50 a share in cash, once they get their hands on that money, which will be sometime in December, what are they going to do with that money? They're going to buy Spire stock. They're going to buy up Spire stock. That means 90 million American is coming in dollars into buying Spire stock from insiders and existing people in the Exact Earth. Then there's us on the outside going, I think these guys are short millions of shares and they got to cover. And a lot of us are going, we're not selling under $15 when this thing turns. And there's this buying coming from the insiders of Exact Earth. And I have a suspicion a whole bunch of people who follow Exact Earth, who have known about Exact Earth, who are up there, are going to join the party. Because once this starts to move, they're all going to jump in to help move it even more, because greed builds greed. And we know where this thing has to go. It has to go back to $15 to $18 a share. That's where it has to go. That's where it was. Now that the two are one, this thing can go to 15, 18 again, but it might go to 25 because of the shortage of stock, the mother of all short squeezes. I don't know. I'm just saying, over the weekend, I had a most interesting time of this, thinking about this, and I thought I'd mention it to you. First thing this morning, just so you know where I'm coming from. Welcome one, welcome all. Larry has rung the bells, I'm sure, to get this market started. At least I hope he has. If he's not here, we'll forgive him. But there he is. Larry, thanks, buddy, for doing it. We're up and running and we're trading now. Let's follow these markets, including Spire here, to see what's going to happen. Because Spire, as you know, has come out with press releases, their financials. They keep moving forward. They just keep talking about how well they're doing. And they're in the middle of this takeover deal, which the meeting is on the 18th. I suspect no one will comment about this transaction, this arbitrage, anywhere until after the 18th. Because once the vote is through and it's official, within a week, those shares will flip over. Because you remember how it worked with SPACs? When these companies took over their SPACs, about a week later, the stock symbol changed. All your stocks now became the new stock, and then eventually your options became the new options. That's what's going to happen here. They're going to have the vote on the 18th, and by about the 25th of this month, it'll all be gone. That the exactors will be gone, and it'll all be Spire, and it's going to go higher. Spire is going higher, and I think we're going to be in for a bit of a run. I'm just saying. It could be a lot of fun. Okay, well, let's see how the markets are doing today. Are any of you guys getting richer today? And if so, just how rich are you? Let's find out. I've got Rocket Lab at 1465, up 28 cents right now. Looking for Rocket Lab to get to $20. Why? Because we're going to write options on it. There's a whole bunch of you sitting on Rocket Lab contracts, and you're sitting on Rocket Lab shares. I'm waiting for this to hit $20, and you guys start to cash in your options, buy up the Rocket Lab paper, and start writing Rocket Lab contracts. Welcome to the party, pal. Boy, are you guys going to make a lot of money here. SoFi, $22.98, up 22 cents, 1.18 million. 23.04 now, up 27 cents on SoFi. GameStop, 204.50, up 204. Matterport up $1.07 to start the week at 23.24 on 289,000 shares. Lovely on Matterport. Let's see what else is going on. 23andMe, down 53 cents to 12.09. We've traded 141,000 shares. We'll see how that works out today. Spire Global, 536, up a nickel on 31,000 shares. I really wonder if these guys overcooked their books. If you sell a million shares of Spire, you got to buy 10 million shares of the Canadian stock. Where the hell are you going to get 10 million of those Canadian shares? There's only 50 million out there. Where are you getting that from? I mean, come on. You sold 2 million Spire, you got to buy 20 million of the 50 million. You're not getting 20 million of the 50 million. No way. That stock would be $8 already if they were having to do that. So something isn't adding up somewhere. And this is where I think there's arbitrage trading going on. There's all kinds of option shenanigans going on. The bottom line is these guys are short paper and they got to buy it back. And it's going to go. With or without their help, it's going to go. Just saying. We'll see what happens. I'm here to watch with you. Let's have fun. Spire, 537, up 7 cents. ATIP, down 2 cents at $4. Remember, we were at 260 about 2 weeks ago. We're doing pretty good here. We've only just started to move back up. A Smart Rent, 1090, up 22 cents. 7,000 volume. That's all. 7,000, we're up 22 cents. Cyxtera, 1002, up 48 cents. Welcome back to the $10 neighborhood, Cyxtera. We're waiting for you to talk. We're waiting for you to talk. They announced third quarter financials, apparently. They raised their full year outlook for 2021, apparently. This has come out as of this morning. They are combining strong results with our team delivered a third quarter with the momentum we've generated over the last several quarters, gives us the confidence to raise the midpoint of our 2021 revenue and transaction adjusted EBITDA guidance by 1% and 2% respectively to $699 million and $225 million. We're excited to report our first quarterly results since becoming a public company at the end of July, and we look forward to participating in the NASDAQ closing bell ceremony on December the 6th to mark this major milestone. We're also excited about the launches of our Smart Cabs offering and the new, what's this called? The new Tanix Federal Innovation Lab, which reinforces our continued ability to innovate and partner with leading edge technology providers. What does that mean? I have no idea. Does it matter? No. Doesn't matter. Total revenue increased by 5.1 million to 177 million. Recurring revenue increased by 5.8 million to 169. Core revenue increased by 12 million to 161. Net loss 46 million in the quarter. Transaction adjusted EBITDA increased by 3.5 million to 58.1, principally due to higher revenue and improvements in cost of revenue. Again, they're losing less money. That's the bottom line. That's all you need to know. They're generating more. They're losing less. They're getting to the break-even point quickly. That's what's happening here. Very good. All kinds of other news in here about this whole story. You can read it for yourself when you have the time. I love it. We're now at 10.02, up 48 cents on 30,000 shares. That's all. 30,000 volume, up 50 cents a share to 10.04 on Cyxtera. But again, there's something else cooking. There's something else really cooking here. This is just the third quarter. We've all been waiting for this. We all knew this was coming. This is not a surprise. I'm not surprised to see the numbers as well as they are doing either. I'm not surprised. Waiting to hear what they've got in mind to take the company to the next level. That's what I'm waiting for. And that'll be a separate announcement maybe later this week or next week. Let's see what happens. Okay. AMC up 96 cents to 40.96. Robinhood up a nickel to 35.26. Vanik Vectors up 90 cents to 3.02 a share. Home Depot down 19 cents. IBM up 91 to 119.87. Dow's up 116. Microsoft up a quarter. Apple up strongly to 138 today to 151.37. Apple is coming on. It might move a couple of bucks today. Tomorrow we'll see what happens. Tesla down $26 to 1,007. Bed Bath Beyond down 13 cents. BlackBerry up 14 cents. Royal Caribbean up $1.47 to start at 86.04. The high of the morning 86.15. We've got Goldman Sachs up $1.52 to 4.06. Amazon up 52. Facebook up 7. Alphabet up 7. The FANG stocks are higher. That would mean the NASDAQ is higher, and it is, 43 points. S&P is higher by 11. The Dow's higher by 118 points. That has what's going on in this market right now. Mostly green across the board, except for ME at $12. We got Rocket Lab up 7 to 14.44. SoFi up 37 to 23.13. GameStop at 203.88 at 178. Matterport up $1.49 to 23.66. Looking good. Spire up 7 to 5.37. ATIP up now 1 penny to 403.2. SmartRent up a quarter to 10.97. And Cyxtera up 58 to 10.12 right now. Cyxtera is coming on nicely. SmartRent coming on to the high of the day on only 11,000 shares. Love the Cyxtera move. 10.12 on 47,800 shares. Very quiet yet because the stock is unknown. And so those in the know like what they see, and they're buying up the stock because they're looking at this improved financial results. Yeah, no kidding. Very much improved financial results. We're looking much better here. Now I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What do you got in mind with all that money you're sitting on? What are you going to do next? Let's see what's going on. Anyway, there you have it. Thanks, Uncle Bruce says, Jerry, learn to write on SoFi and Spire, and I'm beginning to make money. Right on. Is anyone writing MTTR covered calls? Anybody writing covered calls on Matterport? If you are, you're looking at writing probably 25s. Maybe you're looking at writing 26s, maybe out for a month or so or a few weeks. Depends on which contract you are comfortable with. But the stock is up 164 at 23.81. Volume 551,000 so far. Very, very nice. SoFi $23, even up 24 cents. Rocket Lab up 12 cents to 14.47, 14.49. ME still down 59 to 12.03. Spire 5.32, ATIP 4.03, SmartRent 10.90, Cyxtera 10.13. We're waiting for Cyxtera, waiting for SmartRent, waiting on ME, and we're waiting on Rocket Lab to now make their moves one at a time to the $20 level, hopefully sooner rather than later. And then you'll be writing options on those as well. And all of a sudden, you're going to have 6 different stocks that you're going to be writing options on. You're going to be having income coming in from all over the place. And this is what it's going to be like going forward. You're going to be very, very busy looking at a whole bunch of companies at the same time. And you're going to be bringing in capital from all over the place. So you got to love this. Fabulous. The Credit Savage says, if SoFi goes down, I'll buy calls. If it goes up, I'll sell covered calls. I win regardless, because if it doesn't move, then the premium from the calls I've already sold goes down. That's it. You got it. Now you know what we're talking about. That is what we are saying here. Fabulous stuff. Welcome one, welcome all. People are noticing the Matterport run here. It's looking very strong, very good. We like what we see there. We're talking about how Matterport is good for the insurance business, up $1.97 on Matterport to 24.14. Really picking up steam here, looking beautiful. This is probably pushing Matterport towards its higher levels. The all-time high is 28. That was back when the SPAC announced the deal, way back when the stock went way too far too fast. And here we are now at 24-ish, high of the day, 24.23 on 700,000 volume. So yeah, Matterport is looking good. All the cheap stock has long been gobbled up. It's all gone. And now investment money is coming in. I'm also hearing about SoFi, that SoFi shares, more and more of the company's stock is being held now by institutional investors. Every time a new 13D filing comes out from the SEC, it shows a greater percentage of SoFi shares held by institutional investors and a smaller number of shares held by the general public of SoFi. That is an excellent, excellent sign. If that continues on at the pace it's going, SoFi is going to be a whole lot higher per share, because the shares that are being bought up by institutions are not being bought for flipping. These are investing for the next 3 to 5 years. Wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of these institutions are buying up stock in SoFi, counting on a takeover within the next 3 to 5 years. Could happen much sooner than that, but they'll wait. They're very patient. They know it's a three handle before any kind of a deal like that goes down. So they're buying now. They're getting in early before the bank charter is officially announced, which we're waiting on at any time. We're up 41 cents now on SoFi to 23.26. We're up 50 cents. When this thing goes, it leaves the station and just keeps going. Look at the Matterport, 24.06. We're leaving the station at 21.22 a share to 24.06 and climbing. We're now 24.10 and climbing. ATIP is climbing as well. It's now 4.14 a share. This looks like to be about the high of the day here, 4.14 a share on ATIP. Looking great. It's definitely improving. I just get the impression, I can't help myself but think that it's possible. It is entirely possible. There is a buyer buying up all the ATIP stock that's loosely flying around, and it's drying out. We're at 416 now, up another couple of pennies. The ATIP stock, this cheap $2.80, $3 stuff, is gone. We had the 90-cent move last week on 30 plus million shares in one day, and it is now being scooped up at 418 a share. Volume 182,000 shares. 182,000 shares. We're up 18 cents. It's gone. It's just being taken out. Next stop, 5, and then 6, and it's just going to keep on going. They're capital rich, debt non-existent. Cash flow will improve all this year and next, growing their employees, growing their locations, and I just suspect that they're doing mergers. I think that they're going to do mergers and acquisitions. We all know what we're waiting for. A new CEO. How long? Since August. Maybe they don't need a CEO. Have you thought of that? Maybe the chairman of the company is running it, and it's just going and going and going. I don't know. I can't tell you one way or the other. I don't care. Just go higher. As John McClane wrote on the shirt of Hans Gruber's, or of what's his name's brother, ho, ho, ho. That's what we're looking for, baby. Keep it running. 537 on Spire now, 14, 17, 18 on ATIP. We're up 27 on Smart Rent, 1095. We're up 62 on Sixtera, 1016. We're up $1.92 on Matterport, 2409. We're up 205 on GameStop to 204.45. SoFi 23.45, up 69 cents and climbing. Rocket Lab up 18 to 14.55. The only loser, 23andMe at 11.80, down 82 cents. Don't know why. Can't tell you. It just is lower. For how long? I don't know. But you know what? I'll take all the wins. If I have to take a loser, I'll take all the wins, and then it'll come later because it too will be a winner for us. It's just a matter of time. Just got to stick around, let it happen. Welcome to the show, everybody. Carl's brother, that's right. Ho, ho, ho. Gotta love this. I just put in a stink ask of $3 for a Matterport $25 December contract. Came on and then S. I'm not sure what he meant. He's in the middle of a message. Let's see what's going on. Here we go. Wow, my Matterport December 17th are printing in a big way. The stock will not wait now. It's going to go. You got to love it. Yeah, going the wrong way in ME, but well, we'll see if it can turn around. It was downgraded by Citi, says SVT Boxer. Maybe that's a temporary pullback. I don't know. We'll see how long this lasts and if it's all that serious or not. We got Rocket Lab now 1455 up 18 to SoFi at 2343 up 67. GameStop at 204.22 up 2 to 211. Matterport up 223 now 2440. Looking real nice. ME down 85 cents. Spire up a dime to 540. 24.5-cent gain on ATIP to 426. Those of you with your 250 contracts, are they moving for you? Are your $5 contracts moving for you? I bet you they are. It's looking good. Smart Rent 1097 up 29 and Sextera up 65 to 1019. Ho, ho, ho. I love it, baby. ATIP volume 248,000 shares. Spire volume at 540, 55,000 shares. There is nothing here. And this is where the shorters are going to get their butts handed to them because they're not going to be able to buy millions of shares of Spire when they think they want to. They want to pick off their short stock and buy it back. They're going to have to go to $8 to $10 to get stock because all this stock at 540, 550, 580, 610, it's gone, baby. It's been picked up by viewers of this channel, other viewers who follow us. We've all bought this stuff. We own this Spire stuff down here. There's none left. And we're not offering it to any of these guys for $5.50 a share. Go to hell. You want our stock? A 10 handle, and then we'll just look at it at that point. Yeah, you want Spire? Pick it up, baby. Put up some cash and let's talk some enchiladas here. We're going to make some money. Well, this is going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. I'm loving this. Yeah, baby. We got the movement going here. We just need ME to join the party. Up 86 on SoFi, 2362. Matterport up 236 to 2453 on Matterport. Volume now on Matterport, 1,075,000 shares in 18 minutes. Hello. We're not waiting. It's going. You got to love this. Home stretch for these November 19, 2250 covered calls on SoFi and Matterport looking like a rollover coming. You might be looking at that. Zach just wrote SoFi December 3rd, 2021. $25 strike sold at 90 cents. Happy Monday. Citigroup downgrades at 23andMe holding to neutral, raises target price to 13. They raise the target price and downgrade the stock. Go figure, these guys. Mama Babe loves the ho, ho, ho. This ME sell-off is a bit ridiculous. SVT, one to what? RIP my December calls. I'm not paper handling them or anything right now. Need good ME news to move this dog. SoFi, go on. Wow, MTTR. Uncle Bruce, I have covered calls for Friday at $25. Should I buy them back? I wrote them a long while back for 50 cents. Orion, just sit tight. See what happens. The stock might run up to the 25 level today, maybe run a little higher, but then it might back off tomorrow. Just let it settle in. It's nice. It's up to 25. This is a great pop. It's almost 10% in one day. It might be a little much, but then again, it could go higher. Keep an eye on it, but I wouldn't worry about it right now. Uncle Bruce, good morning. I had a look at IBM. The financial looked like a big decline. Have you looked lately at their fundamentals? No, I've not looked deep into IBM fundamentals. No time. Julie, how does this make sense? Raise ME price and downgrade? I don't get these guys. Very good. Carl's brother was what? Tony? Really? What was the Rote Army kind of name? Was it really Tony? Was that his name? Or was it Anthony, maybe? I don't know what that guy's brother's name was, but he didn't last long in the movie, did he? Although he said, I promise not to hurt you, as he turned off the the saw blade thing. Yeah, he didn't last long. Uncle Bruce, hey, if I get taken out of my Matterport 2250 for this Friday, might I consider buying more Spire paper options or ATIP paper? AB, if you I don't think you should get taken out on Matterport. I think what you want to do is do a rollover if necessary. For the moment, just see how the stock wants to react the rest of the week. But if the shares reach 26 tomorrow, 26 and a half, you might do a rollover into 2750s or a 28s for say a month out, bring in even more money. And roll forward if you've indeed written them, because I'm not sure if you own them long or what. I'm not sure. I'm assuming you've written them, AB. So she's Uncle Bruce. How are you doing today, young man? You are rocking back and forth a lot. Do you need a bathroom break? I'm just excited. I'm just all jazzed up. This is good stuff. Anton is Carl's brother. Anton. ATP just woke up. Apparently, Anton sounds more German. There you go. We're up 9 on Rocket Lab. ATIP at 418, up 16 cents. SoFi up 85 cents to 23.61. GameStop up 26 cents. Matterport up 243 to 24.60. ME up down $1.06. Bargoon time for contracts here. Spire up 11 at 541 now. ATIP 416. SmartRent 1090 up 22, and Sextera up 65 cents to 10.20. That's where we are right now on these former SPACs and GameStop at the moment. Uncle Bruce, I love stink bidding. Thanks to you. I love this. Named Tony, named after Anton. There you go. IBM was just denied by the U.S. government from expanding semiconductor manufacturing in China. They had to choose between America or China. So now they're going to go to America. Did you see the news where IBM partners with Amazon? Did not. No, did not. Don't think I saw that. Excuse me. Amazon are making all kinds of moves recently now that Jeff is gone. Anton aus Tirol just sold a SoFi $26 strike call for $75. Never wanted to pull back so bad before. Welcome to the other side, Erico. Welcome to the other side. This side's a lot more fun. It really is. It can be a lot more fun as you watch these stocks perform and run up, run down, and you name it. There's all kinds of opportunities here. This is cool. David, Uncle Bruce, if the price of oil is going down and we have more than we've ever had, why is Republican Representative Schumer asking Biden to open up the oil reserve? Seems like a scare tactic. It's just politics. It's nothing practical. It's just the polls. The Democrats are trying to be seen doing something. The Republicans will be doing exactly the same thing. They used to yell at Trump and at Bush, all the same guys, to do exactly the same thing. We got to protect the American consumer. We got to protect American families. It's all the same bunk. It's just bunk. The oil market is drowning in oil. There is no shortage. The American reserves are not needed. There are no gas pumps without gas. What Schumer is trying to create is an atmosphere where the speculators of oil will feel that there's going to be more supply than needed, and the price will stay down. But the government of the United States cannot make oil prices go lower. They can't make it go lower. There's no way. And I believe that states that are so desperate for income are going to slowly but surely increase state prices by a penny a gallon, a nickel a gallon, here and there and here and there, to try to balance their budgets. And it's coming at the expense of the gas market. So even if the U.S. reserves come out and that drops oil down a little bit and gas goes down 40 cents a barrel or a gallon, watch your local state governments come in there and start squeezing out a nickel, a dime here and there to try to make their money, because they're going to squeeze a price increase on a dip. That's how they're going to do it. They're broke, remember. Wrote 5 Matterport covered calls for this Friday about a month ago when it went on a run. Figured it might be more profitable to buy Spire and ATIP if I get forced to sell at 22.5. Well, I understand where you're coming from, but writing contracts is actually a long-term commitment that you do again and again and again and again. And if you write new calls on these shares, you do a rollover, bring in more cash by writing more expensive calls, use the cash to put into Spire and ATIP. Buy some ATIP $5 calls or some Spire $7.50 calls or $6 calls with the proceeds from writing. You're always going to bring money in from writing. That's the end game. Well, at least that's the way I do it. IBM and Amazon partner to extend reach of data tools for all companies. Interesting. Nick, Uncle Bruce, I missed the 6:30, but wrote a put option for 605 as suggested by you for 10 contracts, 2250 strike on SoFi, Jan 23. Is that a right move? It's not a bad move because SoFi is going higher, and the higher SoFi goes, the lower these puts will be worth. You'll buy them back for way less money, so you're going to make some money there. Nice move. December Matterport calls at 20 are up 140%, and the 17 and a halves are up 45%. Sell now or hold for more? Is it the greed going to get me? Well, Mr. Seneca, whenever you do sell, take the dough and buy up the stock. Just turn that cash into stock and start writing options so you can compound your gains. That's my advice to you. No politics, please. Let's go, Brandon. Oh, and then there's politics. Matterport, November 19th, $20 call. Sell now or wait. It's $4.71 in the money. You're up $2.54 a share. Rita, I'm hoping that if you can sell these for enough money, you can buy Matterport in blocks of 100 and start writing $26 contracts. That might be your move. Auntie is laughing. Julie, that link was story was IBM and Amazon. John is saying to Aria, Rocket Lab earnings today, AM. Aria, watch what you say there, buddy. IBM says quantum chip will beat standard chips in 2 years. IBM design allows for a significant increase in computing power. Go IBM, says Bama Babe. Vilbus, Saudis don't like not getting a free pass from the U.S. government. Cute little phrase, my guy, says Coyote. For a stock like SoFi, which would be better? Should calls be written further out, 30 days or more to get higher premium, or have shorter time frames, 14 days or less, to capitalize on shrinkage? Exactly. This is the constant battle. If SoFi wants to reach this 2450 level, you might want to write 25s for a week or two and see if you can bring in some short-term quick money. Keep in mind that if you write a 2-week contract versus a 1-month contract, if you're getting 40 cents for a 2-week contract and you're only getting 70 cents for a 1-month contract, write the 2-week contract. If you can get better premiums shorter term, then write more often. And that way you're closer in and you're seeing the shrinkage be affecting you quicker and more dramatically. Bruce, I have less than 100 shares of Matterport, Smart Rent, Rocket Lab. It seems like it makes more sense to sell them all and rack up a couple of hundred SoFi shares to keep writing. Is this a bad strategy? Well, you can do that, or you can sell one of the three and top up the other two if you're able to and get to 100. But the bottom line is get into 100 blocks is your game plan eventually, no matter what you're going to do, so that you can write options from several sources. But if right now it's SoFi, then make your move into SoFi, bring the money in, and buy up stock in the others to top yourself up to 100 in those, if that's what you want to do. Carter, should have waited a bit to write my first ME and ATIP contracts. Yeah, okay. Fenville, this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. is when the announcement comes out. I think you're talking about Rocket Lab earnings. Wait, what happened to MTTR? Laughing out loud. Cheers, Fen. Just wanted to make sure. Jefferies has increased price target on SoFi from 24 to 26, and they reiterated their buy rating. Look for more of this. Look for a lot more of exactly what Rob is saying here. This should be happening all week on SoFi. And this is likely happening on Matterport, and this could happen on other stocks we're following. Just watch for this. Ventures with Duncan, I'm all thumbs ups, guys. Wish I had bagel time. Just hold. How you doing, Duncan? Nice to see you, buddy. AB, IBM announcing quantum chip news makes me more nervous for IBM. It sounds like a distraction, vaporware. Everyone's saying that quantum chips are coming soon and never deliver. AB, I can't speak on that. That's just not my specialty. Aspire is going even higher. 546 up 16. Looking good. We're at 403 in ATIP. We were higher earlier. We'll see if we have another run coming. Associate Aspire is going up on your speech, Uncle Bruce. Shrinkage theory, shrinkage. I wrote 20 SoFi covered calls for December the 3rd, December 26th, for 26s, for 79 cents each. Seems like a good deal. There you go. That's almost $1,600 in cash coming into your account right now. And you know what? SoFi 26, you're out of the money right now by $2.20. So, you're doing fine. You're doing just fine. If these contracts don't if they give up some ground, you're going to buy them back for less money. If the share tops out at 25 here, 24.50, those contracts will deteriorate dramatically and you'll do just fine. Shrinkage is a constant battle, says Nelson. I thought that was a great non-biased analysis of the crooks. I mean, politicians, Martin, a little too much chlorine in that gene pool. Let's go SoFi, says Chris. Bill, the term quantum is a marketing gimmick. There are no quantum computers on Earth anyplace. They're saying maybe 50 years. So Credit Savage just sold $25 December SoFi covered calls for $1 a pop. Nice $2,000 for an honest day's work. I love this game. Well, Savage, let's just see what SoFi wants to give us. Like I say, you're still $1.34 out of the money. It's up 90 cents today. We're happy for the gain. We love the gain. But you are in a control position. You are now guaranteed $26 a share if you get taken out. You're not going to get taken out because you're going to roll over if you have to. Doing beautifully. I am confused. What is Cyxtera stock ticker name? I'm trying to buy, but I've been out of the loop for a minute. CYXT. CYXT. 10.19 a share, up 65 cents. Smart Rent 11.06, up 38 cents. ATIP at 399.99, down a couple of pennies right now. Spire 546, up 16. ME down $1.09 to 11.53. Low today, 11.53. Matterport 24.86, up 268. That is just 30 cents off the high today on 1.9 million volume. Up $1.80 on GameStop. SoFi 23.61 on 6.1 million shares. Rocket Lab up 15 cents. Bruce, I typically write my covered calls the week of or expiring no more than 8 trading days. I'm fine with the lower premium that I would get. Do you suggest that writing longer or buying stock? Or writing longer? If you're going to write longer calls, you want to look at writing calls for next week Friday, because that encompasses Thanksgiving next week. And I think you want to have contracts that expire next Friday, but you might be buying them back on Wednesday next week. Just so you know, keep an eye on that one. Fenville, for the life of me, I just don't understand how Live Nation, the stock's going up after the Astroworld tragedy. 10 people died and 120 lawsuits. These lawsuits take years and years, and they may have insurance. They may have billions in insurance to cover it, and that's maybe why. I'm just speculating here. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm sold it. I'm up 200%, says Rita. Nice going. Area, Uncle Bruce, we are using GameStop just for income creation, or do you believe in it long? I believe in it long. I believe in income generation in the meantime. That's where I'm at. IBM says that their quantum operating model Eagle will be available in December. AB, Bill, yes. Also, all the software would have to be rewritten to make them feasible. A tall order for that to be profitable for IBM. Flesh Infection, SoFi call. January strike, 2250s. Take the 300,000% profit or sit back? What do you think I should do? Again, sell to buy stock, right options. Those are my calls. That's how I do it. Shrink Edge is what she said. Why did I not buy back my Matterport covered call on Friday? I don't know. Well played, Mr. Savage. AB, we need an entirely new branch of science. Just to be real careful around these ideas of quantum computing. Google has been in that R&D for way longer than IBM has. Rob, man, GameStop has no paper left. 200,000 shares traded in half an hour. Very quiet. CYXT is the symbol. Mr. G, games, a thumbs up. I got one covered call. SoFi expires 11/19 in 4 days at 22, and 3 long calls expiring 1/21/22. Not sure what to do. I have a covered call for 22, and I have 3 long calls 22.50. Well, the 22.50s, you could look at selling them to cash in on the covered call. You could buy it back and turn around and write maybe a 25, good for maybe December or January. And you can bring in more money than the 22 costs you to buy back. And that's a rollover at a higher price for more money, taking out the 3 calls for cash, picking up more stock, and hopefully buying 100 more shares or more and writing another contract. Here we go. Bill, Bama, it's a marketing term. There is nothing like that that exists. Matterport, $25, $24.91 right here. Rob, might need to roll that 22 call by Friday, but wait and see if it backs up during the week. The long calls, you can hold on to them for a little while more, I think. You could. Damn it, I'm able to write 50 contracts. I brought in no less than $2,000 a week. I only have been called once, but was able to buy back the 5,000 for 50 cents less per share the next Monday on the dip. Way to go, damn it, Jim. I'm more comfortable with the short-term covered calls. There you go. Uncle Bruce, I have SoFi covered call expiring November 26th at 23.5. Should I roll over now or wait until next week? SoFi 23.73 right now is where we're at. You can either do a rollover now if you want to lock in maybe a $25 price for a longer time frame. If you can bring in more money, I'd look at it. If you can't bring in more money, I would not do a rollover. I don't want you to do a rollover for a break even. I want you to do a rollover for a financial gain. So that's what you look for. Mr. Seneca sold both Matterport calls, set a limit order at the ask. I pocketed a nice $13,000 profit. Thank you, Mindy MTTR. Nice going, Mr. Seneca. I love it. Way to go, you guys. Cash in all you can. 14.41 on Rocket Lab up 5. 14.42 now. SoFi 23.79 up $1.03. GameStop up 3.10. Matterport 24.91 up 2.74. ME now only down 99 cents. It got as low as 11.53. It's now 11.61. Aspire 5.46 up 16 cents on the day now. Volume 108,000. That's all on Spire. ATIP 397.5 down 4.5 cents, getting to a bargain again. Smart Rent 10.96 up 28. Sixtera 10.18 up 65 cents. AMC up $1.10. Robinhood down 3. Vanik up 68. Home Depot up 71. IBM up 12 cents. The Dow up 74. Microsoft down 95. Apple at 150.79 up 80. Tesla down $35 a share to $998. BlackBerry or Bed Bath & Beyond up down 41. BlackBerry up 2 cents. Royal Caribbean up $1.80. Goldman up 74 cents. A bargain. Amazon up 44. Facebook up 10.5, Google up 3.33 right now. Cisco up 8 cents to 56.90. That's where we're at right now. The Dow's up 75, S&P up 7.6, NASDAQ up 22 points, oil down 94 cents to 79.85. Laugh out loud. Monday, not Mindy. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Just did something very similar, but my stink bits are lower than the ask. I'm hoping I'll catch a dip. Right on, Connor. Bill, there are multiple companies that have produced quantum computers. The biggest issue is the ability to sell them due to maintaining the temperature control. Mr. Seneca, awesome job, says damn it, Jim. Rita, bought lesson number 2, but still in the dark about covered calls. Which lesson should I listen to next? One at a time. Go into number 3, go to number 4, go to number 5. Make your investment in money and time. I'll have it on Monday, MTTR. You guys are getting so rich. I'm happy for you all. What's the deal with Matterport? Thank you, damn it, Jim. How do I buy Sixtera? CYXT is the symbol. Bill, the companies that currently have them sell the ability to use computing power on the cloud. Let's see. So I got to complain. My broker has $3 commission per contract. It's not too much for a European resident, but I prefer slightly longer contracts. 3 weekish or so doesn't cut it in my profits. It's the issue. Let's see. Sold long-term holding. January 22 strike 15 for over 100% gain after offering all for stink offers. Now I'm a believer. It is truly the best way to offer contracts. Stink offers and stink bids. Kids, get greedy. Exactly. Spire on fire. Anyway, there you go. 548 on Spire, up 18 cents. IME at 11.56. Matterport 25.01 now. 25.06 at 2.89. We're higher on the Matterport at 25.07 now, up 2.90 on the day. A very good run here. Volume on Matterport 2.38 million. We got a nice breakout happening. Beautiful stuff. GameStop up 3.25. SoFi up $1.18 to $23.94. We're pushing 24 around. We're down 8 cents on Rocket Lab. There you go. We got winners winning. We got losers losing. ATIP down 6. Smart Rent up 26 or 28 cents, and CYXT up 62 cents a share. That's what we got going on here this morning, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. That's what is happening. Oh my goodness. Uncle Bruce, when should I roll over my Matterport $25 calls? I wrote for $1.59 that expired December 17, or do I wait until they get to 26? Again, the Matterport rollover or any rollover, you want to make sure that whatever you're paying for the contract you wrote, you're getting more than that when you sell the new contract. So if you're going to buy back these 25s for whatever they're trading at, and you're going to write maybe January contracts, they might be 26s, they might be 27. I don't know which ones they are. You want to get more money than what you're going to pay to buy back your existing contracts. This adds cash to your arsenal, into your account, more dry powder, and you're looking for a higher strike price. That's what you're after, okay? You're giving up time, but you're getting paid for it with money. More money, okay? Okay. All these stink bits. I guess we should call ourselves Bruce's Stinky Bagels. Can we just break 1 million volume on Spire? That would be great. Stink offers hitting on Matterport cover calls. Stink offers. And if you see a stock moving up and you think it's going to do more, raise your stink offer. CFO it, but always at that odd number. Don't offer a contract or a stock at an even number. Don't sell a contract at 2, offer it at 199. Don't offer it at 250, offer it at 249. Just be 1 penny under, 1 nickel under, be the first seller at a stink offer or the first buyer on a stink bid. Matterport, $25.57 up $3.40 a share. SoFi up $1.22 to $23.98. Love it. 23andMe down 118. Spire up 15 to 545. ATIP down 7 cents. Smart Rent up a quarter. Cyxtera up 58. Jen, how are you? We got stuff moving. We got stuff moving like we figured we would. And we got folks here writing a bunch of calls this morning, taking advantage of these offers, and they're writing calls on stink offers, which I love. And they are buying back contracts on stink bids. And I love that too. That's how you do it. Limit orders. That's right. Cheap limits on and expensive limits. Cheap and expensive. And that is money in your pocket, not somebody else's. Get greedy, people. That way you can send me more money.
Greedy is good. Is that what?
Is there something in it for me? Maybe. Richer viewers makes a richer creator. You got to love it.
There you go.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. I'm just listening to the radio from up north.
Canada.
They are in trouble in BC. They're getting way too much rain.
Ooh.
And there's people who have been stuck in their cars for 14 hours because they're between 2 mudslides.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And mudslides too. Yikes.
Yeah, they're mudslides because they're just getting so much rain.
They're getting so much rain. Calgary right now is 34 degrees. Supposed to go to 46 today, but right now they're getting snow.
Yeah, they'll be getting the snow because they have elevation.
And tomorrow, heavy winds with a high of 37. And Wednesday, sunny, but only a high of 34.
They're saying the snow is 1,400.
Whoa, Sunday, high of 28, low of 18 in Calgary. Oh, I'm glad I'm not there. I had a viewer complain to me about my attitude about that, going, "Oh, since you moved down to Palm Desert, you really are negative about your old hometown." Hey, I'm in the desert and I love it. It's 80 degrees here. I live for this. I've been begging to come down here for a year and a half. Cut me a break, will you? Yeah,
I know.
I tell you, I what can I say? Creston is at 50, but heavy rain.
Heavy rain.
Heavy rain. High tomorrow, 39 in Creston. High on Wednesday, 34. What is that?
So, I mean, we wouldn't get snow.
No, but
we would get rain.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Down the highway up the pass.
But overnight they're getting snow. Overnight lows in the 20s, so getting snow overnight. It won't. It'll melt on the street in the daytime, but it'll accumulate on the lawns. And if the if the daytime highs are only in the low 30s and it's snowing, it will accumulate. Tons of fun up there.
Give them lots of precipitation. And
yeah.
in our valley, they hold the precipitation.
That's right. The valley where we used to live in Creston, those are fruit farms, vineyards. They want the precipitation.
Yeah.
This is when they want it.
Yeah.
The soil gets saturated with lots, and it can handle lots. It doesn't flood out. Yeah, it's the kind of soil that can take it. But interesting, yeah. Here in Palm Desert, 63 right now. High today, 90. It's pure sunshine.
Did you tell them the sad news?
Sad news?
The golfers are back.
That's not sad news. That's not sad news. It's just news. It's not sad news. No.
So your Matterport's going to town.
We got a day going here. I'll tell you that right now. We got some stuff happening here. We have Rocket Lab only unfortunately down 13 cents. But what are you going to do? I know. I touch everything. I touch stuff everywhere. I got this to worry about. I got this to worry about. I got sensitive screens everywhere, and I touch them, and then they go batty. SoFi up $1.21 to $23.97. We're pushing 24 around. GameStop up $3.29. Matterport now up $3.39 to $25.56. And I am delighted that a lot of you are having problems. Like, Bruce, I bought 1250 calls. I bought 15 calls. I bought 1750 calls. I bought $20 calls. I bought 2250 calls. They're all in the money. What do I do? I love these problems that you guys are having right now, because it's about time you have these problems. I want you to look at the opportunity where you can sell your calls, buy the stock, and start writing contracts, because you're going to the other side where it's a whole lot more stable. This is cool bean stuff. ME, that's right. ME down to 1151. We hit a low here on ME of 1141. That is a bargain. Aspire 538 up 8 cents. ATIP down 9 cents after hitting a high of 426. We're down to 393. Bargain on ATIP. Smart Rent up 23 to 1091. Cyxtera up 56 to 1010. Came out with financials today above estimates and calling for higher numbers next year. They're predicting higher numbers next year. Cyxtera is reacting positively on that. We love it. We're happy about that.
Good.
Yeah, we're trying to stay on top of these markets and figuring out how do we exploit this for our benefit and have tax problems. Yes.
That's right.
That's it. There it is.
So what's it going to be?
What's it going to be today? I'm thinking a toasted bagel with butter, and then 2 slices of cheddar cheese, one on each half, and melt it in the microwave.
Okay.
So that melts in.
But you want it open face. You don't want it closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Open face. Yeah. If that's possible. That'd be cool. Oh, that's going to be so tasty. Loving this. Welcome one, welcome all. We're up 77 on the Dow. We're up 5.5 or 5 points on S&P. We're down about 4 on NASDAQ as we jump around. Vermont's Democratic Senator Pat Leahy at 81 announces retirement. Wouldn't it be great if all senators announced their retirement around 75 and get the hell out? Bring in the 50-year-olds, the 40-year-olds. Some folks who have some semblance of what it's like to be us in this working world. Get rid of these ancients. Oh my God. It's just me though. I'm becoming an ancient. I'm going there. It's okay. Hopefully I'll last that long. What do we got here? If you wait too long and it drops, you'll be upset. Hey, Brucey, what options do you recommend buying on Spire? Pick up 5s into next year. So pick up $5 contracts into next year, like March, April, May, June. It's way out there. Stink bit filled. Thank you, MTTR and Uncle B. There you go. Is Smart Rent still a bargain? Smart Rent still a bargain. It is trading at $10.92. Still a bargain at $10.92. Yes, it is. And so are its options. Same thing. Buy them into next year. I'm not thrilled about ME today, but hot damn, everything else. What can I say? ME is a bargain today. You buy options on ME. Pick up 11s, 12s, 1250s into next year. Grab this leverage. This is your chance. They're down $1.11 a share. This is temporary. This isn't going to last long. I don't care what any brokerage firm says. ME is going higher, and you can make a lot of money here. Stonk Bagel Army. Raised my Matterport stink offer once, but it looks like it should have been kept going. Laughing out loud. Well, we'll see. Through 25.36, up 3.19. Sarah says thank you. So she's. Should I get in on? Should I get in with GameStop with starting with cash covered out of the money contract? If you're going to write a cash secured put contract on GameStop, is that what you're asking? That I can see you doing, but that's expensive. It's a very expensive move. Debbie, I'm looking at SoFi covered call for 25.50 expiring December the 3rd. Looking at SoFi call contract 25.50. First time, and I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Looking at writing 5 contracts. Okay, so SoFi is at 2401 right now, up $1.25. You're thinking about writing 5 contracts that expire December the 3rd. It's only a few weeks out. 25.50. You can certainly look at that. Let's take a look at those together right now. Why not? SoFi. Let's see if I can get my computer here, my big ass iPad to cooperate with me here. So just bear with me while I type it in and get it to pop up here. 2403, there it is. And we've got options going right there. Let's get those up and let's go to December. There we go. And wait for those to load up. Here we go. Okay, December 3rd. You're looking to write 25.50s because in December 3rd, they trade at 50-cent increments up to about 28.50 or so. 25.50s are now 86 to 92. That's where they're showing right now, as I see it. If I were writing those, I would offer them at 91, and I would just put them out there. If you're writing the 26s, they're 75 to 79. I'd offer them at 78. On the other hand, what you might want to do is if you're going to write 25s or 26s, that's another thought because of more liquidity. There's more existing there, but I understand if you don't want to write 25s, they're too close to the comfort zone at 2403 right now in the stock. But 25s are 101 to 108. 2550s are 86 to 92. If you write the like I said, the 2550s, I'd offer them at 91. You're stink bidding it 1 cent below the offer, and that's right near the top there. And if they take you out, you say thank you. On the other hand, if the shares pop up to 24.25 to 24.50, you have to kill that order at 91, and you got to go in there at maybe 99 or 104. You might have to raise your price and say, come and get me 104. Pay me more for this 25.50 because the stock has gone up. And I want to be compensated. Don't be caught selling too cheap, okay? The 25s, if they go to 24.25 a share, you're going to offer those at maybe 119. The 26s, right now they're offered at 79, which is a stink offer, very good. I'd be looking at 26s. If the stock was any higher, I'd be offering them at 84 or 89. And that's the strategy I would be looking at right now in these contracts. There you go. There's some thoughts. We'll see what happens. Okay, I wrote my first covered call. Drew, to Matterport, 17th of December, $21 contracts. Or no. December 21st expiry, $30 contracts for $1.27. My stink offer wasn't stinky enough. Still, nice move. You're $25.39 on the stock. You're writing a $30 call option out of the money. Beautiful job for $1.27. Nice money for 2 contracts. Hey, $254 in your account right now. You're sitting back going, hey, if these shares tomorrow come back to $24, down $1.40 from here, these contracts will pop down to $1, maybe down to 95 cents. I'm already laughing. I'm out of the money at 30. They are dropping in value every day between now and the 17th of December. You might buy them back next week or the week after that for maybe half price, 50 cents, 55 cents, or 51 to 54. Maybe buying them at 59, maybe even at 49 cents. Putting in stink bids at 46 cents. We'll see. Let's keep an eye on that. But well done, Drew. Good job and welcome. Good morning, Jen from John. Gordon Gecko told us greed is good. Beat fits. I can only buy and sell options at even numbers, often in 5 cent increments. It's weird. I can't sell a contract for $2.49, for example. I have to offer it at $2.50. I don't know if it's a platform or a common problem. It might be that the platform is forcing you to do even numbers, so they can make the spread on the odd numbers, and that gives you a cheaper commission. That might be the issue here. It changes from stonk to stonk. Matterport, beast mode. Good morning, Auntie Jen. Please bring Mr. Bruce a Lindbergher cheese bagel for a Monday. Bring forth the stink. Holy moly, macaroni. GameStop, Auntie Jen. Good morning, Auntie Jen. Jake, Bruce, in Celsius, those temperatures sound great. Socius, oops, something is happening on Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab is down 15 at 14.23 right now. SoFi down up $1.10 to 23.86. GameStop up 2.90 to 2.05. Matterport up 308 to 25.25. ME down 97 now to 11.65. We were as low as 11.41. We're doing another bounce right now. Spire up only 3 cents to 5.33. ATIP at 3.97. The low of the day on ATIP 3.91. We're bouncing back. Smart Rent up 24, up 27 to 10.95. Sixtera up 60 to 10.14. All right, morning bagel family from Bizzle. Damn it, Jim. I don't like that you can only write covered calls on Spire a month at a time. That will change eventually, but Spire, no need to write on Spire right now. No need to write anything on Spire. Socius 24. So, Joanne, I don't want to hear about your 90-degree weather while I freeze here in Niagara Falls. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You want to hear about it because you're coming down here someday once you make some money too. Get your butt down here, make some money, and get down here. Trying to break 24 on SoFi, $26 calls about to print. Bama, Zach, isn't it too early to write covered calls on Spire? Yeah, no kidding. Damn it, Jim. Once it picks up, it'll have the weeklies. Erica, welcome to the Bargoon Saloon. Is it better to have a few stocks with 100 shares or consolidate into one stock and have like 400 to write options? This is up to you. You want diversification and write contracts on 4 different stocks if you can do it, or if you go into one, it's totally your call. Open face club sandwich wedge. Uncle Bruce, can you please give us smooth-brained listeners a refresher on stink bids? Stink bids are like limit orders. You put in a buy order at a really cheap price for either stock you want to buy or options you want to buy. And you put in buy orders at odd numbers. So if a stock like, thank you, ma'am, there we are. If you want to buy something like Spire, it's at 5.30 to 5.40. You put in a bid at 5.31. But if you think Spire might go lower, under 5.30, put in a buyer at 5.26, not 5.25. 5.26 or 5.21, not 5.20. Odd numbered buy order numbers. On the sell side, you want to sell a stock like Matterport. You want to sell it for a profit. It's 25.51 right now. You're going to offer it at 25.99, not 26. 25.99. Or if you're going to write a Matterport call option and the option is 145 to 150, you put an offer in at 149 if you can. Odd numbers. And if you're looking for a stink offer on a Matterport contract, that's 145 to 150, and you think there might be a run on the stock to 26, instead of offering between 145 and 150, you put an offer in at 169 or 174 or 179 or 184 or 189 on your option sell price. Stink offer. Way up there, but just a penny under, a nice round number to be first in line. Think about it that way. Good morning, Jen from Duncan. Thanks, Bruce, says Mr. T. Damn it, Jim. Rob, yep, I was wanting to make money on it. Don't want to write long on it and mess up with my rips when it rips. Rob, Larry, it's just a way to say in a bid, way under the lowest bid and buying or asking, way overselling. Uncle Bruce, when's the best time to roll over covered calls? When it's close to expiry or when it's way up? You got to play this by ear. If you've written a call and the stock really runs on you, you're going to do a rollover sooner rather than later. It doesn't matter when it expires. That has nothing to do with it now. It all has to do with pricing and being able to sell the next contract for more money. That's what you want to do. Oh, look at this bagel. Oh, look at the cheese on this. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, yeah. Real cheddar slices. Way to go. Love Costco for these. Mm, wonderful. Wonderful. Lighten up, you're dreaming. Looks to be serious candidate to Tesla. Yeah, it's 140. It's not going to 700 anytime soon. No, 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 no. I'm glad you're making money. I hope you make a lot of money. I really do. I hope you make a lot of money. Uh, and if you can top yourself up to 100 shares and you can start writing options when they offer options, do that. Yeah, Bobby. Question about C puts. What is it? Is cash secured puts? Question. Uh, how are they priced? Do you need the strike dollar plus the margin percentage as cash to start the trade? Okay, Bobby, if you want to write a cash secured put on something like SoFi, and you want to write a 2250 put on SoFi, cash secured, you want to do one contract, you got to put up $2,250 because it's a 2250 contract that obligates you to buy the stock at 2250 for a certain amount of time. You have to put up $2,250. Now, if the contract is trading at $2, I don't even know what it's trading. I'm making up a price. It's trading at $2. You're going to get $200 cash in. And if the stock keeps going higher, the put value will drop to the point where it'll be down to $1, 80 cents, 50 cents. Eventually, you can buy it back, hopefully for less than you sold it for. Now, if you can sell a contract for $5, $6, $8, depending on what stock you're talking about, the hope is that you buy the contract back for half or less than half your money, or whatever the profit is. But you have to put up the value of the put contract upon exercise. So if it's GameStop and you're writing a $180 contract, you got to put up 18 grand. If it's Apple and you're writing a 145 cash secured put on Apple, 145, you have to put up $14,500. If it's Rocket Lab and you're writing a $20 put on it, way in the money, you got to put up 2 grand. But you might get your hands on $600 or $700 up front or more, but you got to put up the 2 grand. SoFi, 23.96. Tasty Donkey. Bruce, I got a huge problem. I'm up 200% on my SoFi calls that expire in April. And I got some in January 2023. When should I sell? You don't have a huge problem. You have a huge opportunity. Your opportunity is to take advantage of the profit now on this run today. Or your opportunity is to sit back and say, you know what? SoFi is going up right now to 23.89, and they don't have a bank charter yet. There's some news coming on SoFi that's just going to rock this world. And I got January 23s, April 22s. I got all the time in the world to wait this thing out even further. So I would not worry about it. Stock goes higher, you get richer. When you sell them, eventually, you'll just turn them into stock and start writing contracts. And you're just going to keep compounding your returns. So, Testy Donkey, you got time. Yeah, it's way too early to write on this thing. John. Okay. Cody. Bruce, I got 2 Matterport $20 calls for March 18 expiry, and I've written a 25 and a 30 with the January 21 expiration. Should I roll this over? Hold tight, unwind the whole thing, go for shares, longer calls? Okay. Matterport, 25.61 now. Your 20s are 561 in the money. I'm assuming they're trading around 6 something now or more. Let me take a look. It's kind of fun. Okay. March of 2022, you have $20 calls for March. So those are $7, $10 to $8. Okay, even more than I thought. $7, $10 to $8. What should you do? Well, they're worth $5.47 right now, book value plus the time. You can see how much value the time has. I've written a $25 and a $30 January 21 expiration. Okay. Well, if you sell your Matterport calls now at, say, this $8 level, you're going to bring in $1,600. You could theoretically wait it out and let the ride continue. You could offer your contracts for $9.95, and decide, hey, if I get $9.95, I'm out of here. That would be almost $2,000 in money on these contracts. Again, no guarantee you'll get it, but with a bit of another little run from here, you might. Up to you. You have no reason to panic today. Just because the stock's up 366, you don't have to panic today. It's gone up 360. It's gone up 322 for a reason today. It's doing well. It could go higher, but then again, it might back off $1 from here, and you might go, "Oh shoot, I should have sold them." If you offer them now for $7.95, a nickel under the $8 price, you might or might not get out. I don't know. The last trade on them was $8. You might offer them at $8.45 right now, or like I said, $8.95, and see if they go at that price, and take the money and see what happens. If you buy stock, you buy more stock to try to get to the next 100 level to get ready to write another contract. Okay, that covers the calls. Now, on the written calls, what should you do? You've written 25 and 30s with a January 21 expiration. So let me take a look at the January 2021 expiration, 25s and 30s. The 25s are $3.80 to $4, and the 30s are $2.30 to $2.60 right now. Okay, the stocks at Matterport on 25.25. And so the 25s quote in the money by a quarter, and the 30s are out of the money still by a bunch. So you don't have to really do anything. I don't know what you got for them when you wrote them. You certainly got less than what they're trading at. I'm certain, because you've written them a while ago, I would think. But the 25s are only now just at the money. If you bought them back, though, if you bought back the 25s, you'd have to take a look at perhaps writing February contracts or later. Now, the 25s would run you about $3.80 to $4. You're going to have to look at writing maybe 25s for February to get as much money or more money. And that may or may not interest you. But on the other hand, look, you go from 20 to 25 into February's. If you can write Febs at, say, closer to $5 and buy the 20s back for January, the 20s, where am I? January 20s? No, January 25s. If you can buy the 25s back at in the 385 range and write the 25s in the 5 range, you've added $1 to your pot. But right now, that might be too soon to react. I wouldn't do any rollovers right now. It's not worth your while at this point. And in the end, what you really want to do is you want to write maybe 2750 February's. They're not trading yet. You want to wait. Let this stock keep going. But on the ones you have that you are long on, you may want to offer them at $9.95 and see if someone comes up to you and takes you out at that nice, juicy price. You get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Okay, Uncle Bruce, thank you so much for your insight. So appreciate this. False. Matterport, December 2250 covered calls is where it's at. This thing likes to tango. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I noticed the options chain on Spire expanded to like 35. What does this mean? Is this good? Well, there's more option trading going on Spire. That's a good sign. And that's what you want to see. More option trading, which means more option availability. That's a good sign. Okay. ATIP went up again. Got as low as 391. Now 411. Another run. This is happening time and time again on ATIP. Sextera now up 77 to 1031. Looking good. Nancy, we kind of talked about this earlier. It could be they're giving you such a cheap commission rate, they're taking it on out on you on nickels. That's probably what's happening. It could be, Nancy, that the options you're playing with don't trade in pennies after a certain price. They're more expensive. But if you're playing with 30-cent contracts and you have to go 30 or 35 or 40, you got to switch brokers. Thanks, Blair. If I got 25 grand in cash, what kind of cash covered put should I place on GameStop? Well, you could look at maybe like GameStop right now is 205. You could write maybe 190s or 180s. You could look at those. I'm not looking at the chain, so I don't know. You write 190s, you need 19 grand. So you have enough. Don't ask serious questions on. He's got a bagel. Quasi realistic, Dave. Quasi. Yeah. You're gonna see you'll see a slow, steady. But you know how stocks are. They don't do that. Stocks jump all the time, so will the options. But the trend is there. The trend is there for the option. It will go down if it's out of the money. Shakespeare is pent up. I agree. I've written covered calls about 6 times so far. The biggest issue, patience. Don't panic. Patience. Help, says Birdie. Help. Rob, my Sixtera January 12 and a half moves a penny. Woohoo, it's ripping. I'm only down 40% now. Woohoo. That's true, no man. You know it. No messy. You got it, Bobby. Delahode, you got to watch all 10. After you watch a few more classes, it'll all come clear to you. Just hang in there, buddy. Bama, I put in a stink bid of 215 for Matterport, expiring December 17, $30 strike price. I'm just tapping my foot, just waiting. There you go. You're up 200%. How much more profit do you need? Get some shares. Flesh, Bama Babe was looking at that too. Just got in, heard you talk about on Spire. What should I do with my $6 strike call for Feb 22? Sit back, wait, get rich. Simple, really. This kind of rant I like. Why sell? I don't know how to sell. Thumbs ups. Thanks, Duncan. I cannot wait for short Rivian. Andrew, thank you for becoming a new member, buddy. Nice to have you here. My Matterport stink bid just hit. Thank you. Welcome, Andrew. Bertie, I need another half an hour. Tio, when? I'm still nephew. Idiot, help me. Any thoughts on AMD? I have several options. I bought at 770. Now they're 68 and change. You're on your own. 700 people watching. Only 400 thumbs ups. You know what to do. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bruce. I don't speak much, but I'm here learning every day. More thumbs ups for Bruce if you're on Matterport. Fidelity is up to me. I can only do increments of 5 cents with options. I'm on Fidelity level 3. I can set any increment. Zach, thank you, Zach, for the PayPal donation. I appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, all of you who do that. GameStop is trading up, but the nearby covered call premiums are not overly attractive. AB Sixter is pennies away from an all-time high. Rob, Hector, that's why I put stink bids in for 205 covered call for Friday, trying to catch that run. Do you all remember ATIP dropped to 285? It was a great day to panic. Midnight Adventure, at this point, I should be paying Bruce commissions. Rob, he accepts PayPal donations. Thanks, Rob, for mentioning that. Michael, option trader, $3 on Fidelity can only be executed in 5-cent increments. 406 thumbs ups. I may have $3 wrong, but definitely somewhere neat there in there. Same on TD Ameritrade. That might be why I've never written covered calls on stocks at that price. Oscar, thank you for the donation. Thank you, buddy. Spare. Thumbs up. 430 here. A lot to do today with our stocks. Zach, that little donation was your cut from last week and all the advice and help each and every market day. Thanks, Zach. You're awesome, man. I appreciate that very much. Uncle Bruce, 2 November 19, $21 calls for SoFi. It's been running up. It's going to cost a bit to buy it back. Do I just watch this week and see if I get a stink bit to buy back for less of a loss? BW, all you're going to do is when you do buy these back, if and when, you're going to write new contracts at a higher value, for a longer time frame, at a higher exercise price. That's a rollover. That's all you're going to do. It's not going to cost you in the end. You're going to bring more money in. That's what you're going to be doing. You're just going to wait here. Right now we're 23.66. We're up 90. We were a little higher than this a few minutes ago. Let's just see how the stock plays itself out. What a day. Woohoo. So good. So good. Oh, man. The bagel keeps me going. Michael. So that means the only options that trade by the penny are the ones in the penny pilot program. Looks like most of the SP 500 is in the penny pilot program. Meeting time. I hate meetings. Drop of the dollar on Emmy just because of an analyst price target. Uncle Bruce, I learned last week that I could put a blank. I learned last week I put in a blank PowerPoint in presentation mode, and my MS Teams status doesn't change while I watch you in my portfolio. I have no idea what that means, but I'm happy for you. GameStop with us. What is it? I have no idea what that means. Let's see here. GameStop just popped $2. GameStop 206.54, 206.80 up 470. Erica, it is sad. I want to buy back my SoFi call from this morning for a whopping $6 gain. Haha. Uncle Bruce, is it better to buy in the money leaps or out of the money leaps? No easy answer on that one. Once again, I'm learning the hard way about taking profits. My ME calls a couple of weeks ago were all up over 200%. Some are now at a loss. I sold one this morning for 100% profit, rolled in 4 new ones. There you go. That's what you do. Okay. Rocket Lab down a quarter. SoFi up 81. GameStop now 406.82 up 472. Matterport up 297 to 25.14. ME down to 114 to 11.48. That is the low of the day of 11.41. We're near the low on 1.3 million. Aspire up a dime at 5.40. ATIP now up 13 cents to 4.15 again. SmartRent up 26 to 10.94. Sextera 10.30 up 77 cents. The all-time high for Sextera, $12. And SmartRent is at 10.94, all-time high 15.14. Okay. That's where we're at, kids. Okay. Damn it. Yep. It's how you look at it, Bruce. If you sell and walk away, you have lost. You buy back and rewrite for a week, months out. I recoup what I think I've lost. There you go. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see, Bruce. When it comes to selling our covered calls and buying stock, it's nice to sell the call on such an update like Matterport is having, but to then buy the stock on such an update seems like we're overpaying. Yeah, but when you're buying the stock and immediately writing calls, you're bringing in that money at the top end, and away we go. Because the game plan is long term. You're not in it for $24.94 a share. You're in the Matterport for $50 a share, and you're going to start making some serious money now with these calls on these swings, and now you're going to swing your way higher. It's a beautiful deal. ME stink offer accepted. Let's see. I'm so stinky today. I might need 2 showers, says Nelson. I'm so stinky. All right. The Dow up 127. That's a high today. S&P up 6.6. NASDAQ down 13. Oil down 87 cents to 79.92. Okay. So if I'm buying a bunch of ME today, am I immediately writing calls? No. Or do we wait for it to come up more? We're waiting for ME to break 20 before you write calls. Uncle Bruce, I have SoFi January 2023 $25 put. I got it for a premium of $11.69, is now $7.50. What are your thoughts on this, please? I'm assuming you wrote it. You sold it for $11.69, got the premium, and it's now $7.50. What are your thoughts? Yeah, okay. You're talking about a $25 put, and it's in the money, $1.40, and everything else is premium. And the higher the shares go, the lower the put gets. Right? Very, very nice. You can always put in a stink bid. 660, 610. See if you get hit down there. Score a nice little profit. Wait, the stock backs off a little bit. The put goes back up. Put in a stink offer. See if you get hit again. But you're playing with 2023, so you're way out there, which has a high premium. You're doing well. I love it. Okay. Erica, wait for 20-ish a share. GameStop going up, waiting to write covered calls. Update, my CYXT calls are now up 4 cents. Rob is getting richer by the minute. Michael, my thoughts, you're up $4. Those are my thoughts, says Michael. Rob, you're just getting richer all the time. Nice. Very nice. 23.52 up 76 on SoFi. ME now, GameStop 207.05 up 4.95. Matterport 25.11 up 2.94. ME 11.44 still down 1.18. Spire up a dime at 5.40. ATIP at 4.18, 4.17.5. Just 6 cents, 8 cents short of the high of the day. 689,000 volume on ATIP. Still climbing. Smart Rent 10.91 going higher. Sextera up 81 cents. Conversely, if we were waiting to $20 on ME to write calls, if we have calls, 10s, 12 and a half, do we sell our calls at 20? Buy the stock then, right? Yes, that's correct. You get the calls now at 10 and 12 and a half. They rise into the money beautifully. You sell them at a fat profit and roll it all into ME at $20 a share. Start writing calls. Exactly. You continue on now on the opposite side of the market. SoFi goes up, I have a seller in for a profit on call. SoFi goes down, I buy more with my ATIP call profit. Either way, I make money. I round out my shares and the right calls. I'm on my way. Way to go. Yes, it is a written put. Beautiful job. Beautiful, Paul. Bobby must be making moves. MVST is making moves. Okay. Where are we at now? We're down 12 cents on Rocket Lab to 14.25. We're up 83 on SoFi, 23.59. GameStop 206.85 up 4.75. Matterport 25.25 up 3.08. ME 1144 down 118, low of the day 1140. So this is low. This is where you buy the 10s, you buy 11s, 12s, 12 and a halfs, 13s. Any of these contracts down here, you pick them up well into next year. Looking at February, March, April's, buy way out calls, lots of time. ME wants to go to 15 next week, great. Wants to go to $20 in 3 weeks, fabulous. But it's going to take 3 months, okay too. You got the time. Make sure you buy the time and get in at these cheap prices. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see here. How long, Uncle Bruce, do you think I should hold 8 Matterport calls that are expiring Jan 21, the 1750 strike? Okay. Okay, so you got 1750s and you're trading at 25.50 now. You're up $8. You're $8 in the money plus premium. What do you got? $9, $10 contracts? Sell them. Start buying the stock. Start writing contracts. It's time to move. Time to move to the other side. Lock it in. Lovely. 539 on Spire, 418 on ATIP, up 16 cents. So nice recovery on ATIP. We got as low as 391 on your ATIP today. So that's 27-cent up move from the low of the day. Nice trade today already. 703,000 on ATIP. 539 on Spire. Matterport 25.44, 25.45. The high of the day on Matterport 26 even. And we're coming on again, so keep getting ready to write options, you guys. Stink offers on the options, absolutely. If you're selling any options, stink offers on your sales. If you're long Matterport options, you're looking to cash in, your long SoFi options, stink offer prices at odd numbers. Get up there and be first. Good day, Uncle Bruce. Bruce, tell the boys at ATIP to relax. They're getting freaked out. Sell my house. 835 is what he's talking about, those contracts. Right on. 2354 on SoFi, 206.83 up 473 on GameStop, 2540 on Matterport, ME at 1144, Spire 540, ATIP 417, SmartRent 1092 up 23 cents, Sextera 1038 up 84 cents. The Bagel Fam is making money. I got some cash coming in this week. Paul Rodriguez was looking for poor man covered call option. There you go, guys. Beautiful job, each and every one. Thank you for those of you who are joining this channel as members. So glad you're here. Wednesday night, prime time, 8 o'clock in the evening. I'll be on the air live, members only. Become a member and join the party Wednesday night with all of us. And we talk about these contracts and these markets. Thank you for the 461 thumbs ups that have come in already today. I do appreciate this. If you hit the thumbs up button, you are encouraging YouTube to send more people to watch this show where we talk about your favorite stocks and options to get more people involved and grow our community. So thank you for those of you hitting the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. You're making this channel larger, and we do want that. Fabulous. 2368 on the SoFi, up 92 cents. What a day on SoFi. Thank you, Krishna, for the donation on PayPal. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. These donations make all the difference for Jen and I. We love you guys for these. I tell her after the live shows are over, I'll say to her, "Oh, not going to believe it. Got a donation here. Got another one there. Another one there." We love it. Thank you guys. Very helpful. Let's see here. What else is happening? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Earlier today, actually, what was it, on Saturday? I took the Tesla. Jen and I got in the Tesla. We drove to Ontario, California. There's a Regal theater there, a big one, and we wanted to find out if we could rent a theater for a meet and greet. And I had done the web browser thing, and had been waiting, had no one contact me back. We drove to the theater. I mean, we just drove there, and I walked in, and I ended up talking to an assistant manager of some kind who was very helpful, and she was very, very sympathetic to my cause, because it all gets done through head office through their websites. And she gave me information that I was desperate to get, and but she said you have to go through those people. She gave me an 800 number, which is awful kinds. I just got an email from Regal. Oh my God, I got an email from Regal. So there might be a hope. Maybe there's a chance I can talk to these people about trying to set up a meet and greet for us in Ontario, California. I'll let you know when I know more. I'm doing everything I can, like driving to the theater for an hour and a half each direction to try to rent a theater for, oh my God, what you got to go through in today's world. Corporate America sometimes doesn't get it. They think they get it. They think they're on the cutting edge of technology, but they have no customer service skills. It's incredible. Anyway, this gal was really helpful, and I appreciated it very much. Okay, thank you. Uncle Bruce, what is your opinion on margin? I have over 300,000 to use at 6% APR, but I don't like debt. Is it a good tool to use? Well, I wouldn't be using margin if you've got over 300,000 to use. You should have enough capital to write enough contracts to make some cool money. And if you're using your ability to write cash secured puts, great. 6% seems awfully high in an environment where the interest rates are like 2%. But again, each broker is each broker. But I would not want to be borrowing money at 6% for a long period of time at all. That's just ridiculous. Rob, okay, Bruce and gang, I'm out for now. Have a great afternoon. Everybody, give your aunties and uncles some hugs. Thanks, Rob. I'll catch you later, buddy. Set the VCR player. AB, so I sold 5 Matterport covered calls, 2250 this Friday, and netted about 575. Right now, I'd have to spend $1,000 to buy back. Should I hope it dies or buy back and sell 5 Decembers for $22.50 premium? What do you think about that one? See, now this is on Matterport. Okay, so let me take a look at Matterport now. It's at $25.85 a share. So the contracts you wrote at $22.50 are in the money, $3.15. Right? That's why they cost you this much to buy back. I would. There's 2 ways to go. Okay, 1-0 right now because you don't have to. You still have till Friday, and the stock, has had a pretty big run here. There may be some pulling back. However, having said that, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of a price move like this. And the price move I would look at, AB, is I would take a look at if you're buying back these 2250s, I would look to perhaps writing December 25s. I'd be writing higher up exercise price. You won't get as much money, but the Matterport stock now is $25.82. We're 82 cents in the money, even on 25s. I might also look at, just for the heck of it, look at January contracts and take a look at 25s. Maybe if there's 26s or 27 and a halves, take a look at any of those and see if you can at least break even on the buyback and the rollover, or make money, because that's what I prefer you to do. But I'm not too keen on having you roll over at the same strike price, because you wrote 2250s and you're thinking of writing 2250s. I know it's more time, but I'd rather you be writing a higher strike price. So theoretically for December, if you can write 24s or you can write 25s and bring in a closer, still a gain, that might be the way to go. I'm just taking a look here right now. 2250s. If you're to get about this 4 range, 420, I can see where you're talking about here. The 25s are about $3. You bring in 1,500. Now the catch is you need to buy back this Friday's call, the November 19 2250s. They're shooting around $3 to $3.40 a piece right now. So they're actually more than $1,000 to buy. They'd run you, mind you, I understand you got $575 cash in hand. You only have to make up the difference. I get that, right? But if you pay, say, $340 for them, just theoretically, you're paying $1,700 to buy them in actual cash, $575, which is you've got. But 1,700, and now can you sell for 1,700 or more than 1,700 on your next write? That is the trick of it all. And the 25 Decembers are only showing about $3. The January 25s are showing closer to four, so they'll bring you more like $2,000. That would be a consideration right there. You might want to write the January 25s and bring in the $4 and taking back the 2250s. Having said that, though, you can write, and there's no question about it, you can write these December 2250s thinking that, well, I've got more time for the profit taking to happen and a little pullback to take place. And hey, if I write these December 2250s at 415 or something like that, 420, and they back off to like $3, I'll make $1.20 back on these. I brought in more cash, and then I'm buying them back, and then I'll rewrite maybe into January's or something at that point. You can look at that, but I like the idea of rollovers being at a higher strike price, not an even strike price. So if you need to go out to February or January instead of December to move up to $25 calls, I prefer that, because if the shares come from 25.97, like the 26 range right now, if they hang around here for a day or two or three, but then they back off to $24, 23.50 later this week or next week, these 25s you've written for January, let's say, they will come down nicely, not all the way to zero, but they'll back off, and then you'll be able to score a buyback on those, which is what the whole point of this exercise is, to then look at the next contract. So I hope that helps. There's a couple of overall scenarios. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and write these all out and take a look at them. Compare one to the other, compare one to the other, compare one to the other, and then decide. You do not have to make a move this minute. Not at all, okay? The stock now is 26.15. That's a good thing. You are a shareholder of the company. Your stock is going up in value. Don't forget that. You might be losing money on your contract, but you're making a lot of money on your stock. And so the higher this goes, the more likely you'll be able to pull off a rollover at a higher strike price for more money. Because the contract you wrote is now in the money. It's not premium anymore. It's just book value mostly now. And it will not accelerate as quickly as other contracts that are ahead of you will. So keep an eye on that and play it by ear. But you might make a rollover later today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Take a look at that. Okay. That was my first covered call on Matterport. 25 at 310. Thank you. Way to go. Way to go. Let's see. Actually, 50. That's right. AB, you know what you're doing. Okay. Regal, not AMC. Yeah, Regal, not AMC. Bobby, go easy on Bruce. We cannot have you burning out. Candles do burn on both ends. Rent the AMC theater. Laughing out loud. There's an Ontario here in Canada, Bruce. That should come first, in my humble opinion. There you go. I should fly 5 hours across the country to have my first meet and greet in Ontario, Canada. That's what I should do. Exactly. Why not AMC? Thank you, Uncle B. Pro tip: cash secured puts margin has no interest to pay on. Cash secured has no interest to pay on. Though I wouldn't go crazy with that. Be careful. Really, use debit to pay for your trade. For gosh sake, so I can't wait for you to go to 24. Let's go. 23.89. It's coming. I hear you on caution for sure. ME just got down 10%. SSR tomorrow. Short sale restriction. Exactly. We got a short sale restriction on ME tomorrow. The rest of the day today and tomorrow. Dave, can't believe no one mentioned the lamp righted itself. What lamp are you talking about? I'm about to test that PowerPoint thing. Laughing a lot. I think there's a new light bulb in the lamp. Sure is bright today. ME is actually fairly shorted. Bobby, I'm in the same boat with Matterport. December 17, 2250 stock. Just sold them for 410. It started a new covered call at 510. Now to wait and pull back this week. There you go, Bob. And more than 20%, I think, on the ME. Well, we'll see what happens on the pullbacks and on the everything else. Tons of fun, kids. The Dow is up 105, S&P up 7, NASDAQ down 2.9. Lots going on here today. We have lots happening. We're still down only 7 cents on Rocket Lab. SoFi at 23.94, trying to hit 24. The high was 24.11 this morning. We've now traded 13 million on SoFi. GameStop at 208.19, up 609. So looking at writing 210s, for those of you who are writing options, you might want to look at writing 210 contracts on GameStop for Friday, or for next week Friday, taking advantage of the shortened week with this Thanksgiving. Matterport 25.99, up 382 right now. ME 1138. Spire 544, up 14. ATIP 414.8, up 12.8 cents. Smart Rent 1093, up a quarter. Xterra 1030, up 76 cents. AMC up 214 to 42. Great day to look at writing $44 contracts on AMC. Robinhood down 31 cents. Vanik is up down 13 cents. Home Depot up 4 cents. IBM up 26 to 119.22. The Dow's up 106. Microsoft down $1.37. Apple up 38 cents. Tesla down $40 to $9.92. It hit a low today of $9.78. It's back to $9.92. We got Bed Bath & Beyond down 71 cents. BlackBerry up 8. Royal Caribbean up $1.24 at 85.77. The high was 86.93. The low 85.01. So more to the down than the upside at the moment, I guess. Goldman Sachs up 84 cents to 405.75. Amazon up 22. Facebook up 9. Google down 6.50. And Cisco up 43 cents to 57.25. Cisco slowly coming on, bit by bit by bit. Keep an eye on all these different stocks. Matterport 26.09, up 3.92. It's almost up $4 today. And Spire at 5.43, up 13. 4.14 on the ATIP now. Watching closely, 23.96, 23.98 on SoFi, going for 24. How about that? Okay. Boom, sold Matterport. Again, profit, and moving to other accounts where I can write more options. Celebration says Flint Creek. Matterport up 3.75 today. Could go down $2 from here by Wednesday. If that happens, I'll be more seriously consider a buyback and wait for the next run to do a covered call sell right. There's an idea. Joe, Matterport, maybe new highs this week. Wow, this is crazy. Go Metaverse, says Joe. Yeah, you've got to decide for yourself how you want to play these contracts. Some of these contracts, you have the perfect opportunity to do a rollover. In other cases, you wait for the stock to pull back, then you buy your contract back, and then write new ones on the next move. It's your call. It's your how you like to play it, how you like to view it. Timing, risk, premiums, and how attentive are you on the stock? Can you watch every nuance and every trade on these positions? SoFi now 24.02. We're through 24 again for the second time today, 24.03. And those of you who are writing SoFis, you can look at writing 24s, 25s, 26s. And if there's a pullback, you pick off some profits on your contracts and get ready to write again. Totally your call how you want to do this. Looking great. We want the stocks to go up because you're all shareholders. That's the thing you want. And then when you do rollovers, you're just writing on higher price stock, and you'll take advantage of swings, which will come your way up and down all the time. Fabulous. We're down 9 on Rocket Lab, 24.03 on SoFi, up 127. Got a $6 gain on GameStop to 208.14. Matterport up 407 now to 26.30. 413 gain on Matterport. This might be the new high of the day on Matterport. 26.36 was the high, and we're in that neighborhood right now. ME at 11.36, down 126, and this is near the low of the day. Bargain time on ME, 23andMe. Spire 5.43, up 13, 4.16 on ATIP. Smart Rent 10.92 and Xterra 10.31. Good day on a lot of our former SPACs. Looking real nice. Beautiful. Love it. Congratulations, those of you who are writing options for the first time. You're writing options into a strength day. That's what you want to do. And now let's see what these contracts are made of and these shares are made of. We'll see what the follow through is. It's a long trading day every day, and then tomorrow here we go for another day. And you may find that for a day or two the stock does well, goes higher. You write. Sometimes you write a little early, but you write nonetheless. And then it peaks out and it begins to falter, and a little profit taking comes in, and you begin to notice, oh, those contracts are back to where I wrote them at, and now they're lower, and they're even lower, and sooner or later you get to a nice juicy profit, and you start cashing in. So way to go, everybody. Welcome to the show, and welcome to the fun. Ben, Uncle Bruce, I have 8 January 21 SoFi 20s. I could sell them and pick up 200 shares, wait or buy the stock. Sell the contracts, buy the stock, write contracts. Start writing 25s and 26s now. Get on the other side. Start bringing in income from your stock. Sold 3 Matterport 30 covered calls for December 31 for $350 each. I like this option stuff. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. Way to go, Matt. Way to go, mediocre. Welcome to the party. Bringing in $1,050. Way to go. The $30 calls. Beautiful job. Sorry, not 30, 25s. Nonetheless, bringing in money. Let's keep an eye on that. Hector, Uncle Bruce, I'm in a poor man cover call play. What happens if your short position moves to in the money? How is this long cover contract used to cover your nearby position? If your short position moves in, you do a rollover. So your short calls that you've written, you're going to do a rollover, just like I'm talking about here with Matterport and SoFi. You'll buy back your calls, write new calls further out, a little higher expiry for a higher credit, and go forward. In the meantime, that covered call you bought, the first one that's deep in the money, it too is rising in value. Beautiful. That's where you're making your capital gain on the big call that you bought, way in the money. And now these short-termers, you're rolling over and moving forward. That's the game. Bobby, cannot believe I'm cheering the shorters at ME, making me money. SoFi up over 24. It is SoFi 2404, looking good. And Matterport over 26 to 26.47, up 430. We are climbing on the Matterport. Some of you now can start looking at writing 27s, 2750s. Start writing contracts on your Matterport. Now, some of you folks who feel, if you think Matterport might come back into the 22, 23 neighborhood over the next week or two, you might want to write $26 contracts, $25 contracts in the money. Because if you can write an in the money contract for, say, December or January, you might bring in $4 or $5 a contract in the money contracts, and that's cash in your hand right now. Even if you get taken out at 25 with a $5 write, you're getting taken out at $30. What do you care? You're happy. You're just writing them for 5 something, looking for the stock to back off $2 or $3. You may find that those contracts go from 5 to 3 awful fast, and you'll buy them back for a nice couple dollar profit per share. Thank you very much. ATIP 420, 419, 420. That's right. We're looking good here. Wow, Matterport 26.33. BFITs. I sold my January Matterport calls today at what I thought could be the high. Update. It was not the high. Welcome BFITs to the markets. Matterport needs weeklies already. They'll come. Don't worry. They'll come. It'll happen, but one day at a time, my friend. Are you having fun yet, kids? This is what we talk about in the classes. In the classes that I've done, all 10 classes, check them out when you can. They're 2 hours long each. Make the investment. Understand some of the stuff I'm talking about in there, because there's so much to cover. There's so much to understand with the give and the take of time, premium, book value, everything else. I have 40 shares of Matterport. Doubt I'll make it to 100. So sell all for 1,000, buy 250 ATIP or 185 Spire. I love my first world problems. There you go. Well, there you have it. If you can buy 200 ATIP and 200 Spire, then you've got 2 board lots of each, which means one day you'll write contracts, 2 of each on those if they take the run for you. Just a thought. Let's see. A Worth says, B Fitz, congrats. Don't stress missed profits and celebrate what you made. There you go. Exactly right. Celebrate. And be happy your shares are going up. It doesn't matter. The higher your shares go, the richer you are. And you can always roll over into higher expiry or higher exercise pricing anyway, so do not worry about that. Bobby, Zach, the juicy spot is 2025. I think how long ATIP could take to get there versus shares at Matterport. ATIP 418, Spire 542. Nice. I got 10, Bill. I got 10 BIL ATIP. Let's see. Who would have expected this, though? Zach, I already have 300 ATIP and Spire each. Zach, buy 200 ATIP or 100 Spire, then buy calls. There you go. That's another option you can play. Another choice you have. 1139 on ME. We're now up a nickel from the low of the day on 1.67 million. We'll watch that, see if it has a bounce today at all. Matterport 25.87, GameStop 208.64, SoFi 23.91, and Rocket Lab down a dime at 14.27 right now. What a day we're having. What a day. Way to go, you guys. Happy to see you making money in this market today. Happy to see these shares breaking higher. Would love to see some of our others come and join the $20 party. That would be really cool. Too many choices, says Zach. Arim is crazy. Got 126 on SoFi pre-IPO at 78. Now I got to wait 3 months to get out of this garbage. Yep, there you go. It is what it is. That be what it be. Hopefully the Rivian will be option eligible soon. And if you can round out to 100 shares, you can write options. Hopefully. I don't know. Matterport, $26 again. 23.87 on SoFi. Back and forth we go. We're really jumping around here. Beautiful. Rob, GameStop cover call. Stink was filled for Friday. Nice going. Don't forget those stink bids and stink offers, kids. Put those in there and let the market come to you on a jolt. You never, ever know when you get lucky on something like that. It can happen at any time. If you've written covered calls today on SoFi and Matterport, you can put in stink bids at nice low prices for profit. And if these shares have any kind of a profit-taking surge on the way down, you might get hit. You never, ever know. You just don't know how it's going to react. So keep an eye open for stink bids on your transactions, guys. Buy to close at cheap, right on. 7-cent dip only on Rocket Lab now, 14.30, looking a little better. Waiting to see if it's going to come into the positive range now. Matterport 25.99, the last trade. It's 26.03, just went right through it again. And there you go. Let's see what else is going on here. 25.94 again on Matterport. So we're jumping back and forth. Okay. You can't write options on SoFi in the app. Not sure which app you're using. You got to check with those guys. That's what you got to do. Thank you, all of you, for being here. We have 493 thumbs ups. If you can find 7 more thumbs ups out there, guys, if any of you can hit the thumbs up button, we'll be at 500 thumbs ups in just mere moments. Help us through the 500 barrier. Hit the thumbs up button right now if you can. There's 494 right now. We're coming into 500 thumbs ups right now. 497. 3 left to get. Thank you, everybody, for helping us out. There it is. 500 thumbs ups. Thank you all for that. 515 now. Boom. Just like that. 15 more right there. 522. Thank you, everybody, for helping me out with these thumbs ups. They make such a difference on the momentum of this channel. Fabulous. All right. Thank you, guys. Thumbs, says Drew. Martin Lavalo, of course, the moment I sell some GameStop cover calls, it bumps up. 210 right now, 210. Lighten up, area. What are you talking about? You've gone in for 78 on this stock. Has gone from 120 to 140, climbing steadily. What's to complain about? Michael, SoFi, the platform, doesn't have option trading. No, SoFi, the platform, not yet. That's down the road. That's right. I don't know when either. I have no idea. SoFi, 23.71. GameStop, 210.77, up 8.67. 210s, 212.50s, 215s could be written on GameStop for Friday or next week Friday. Who knows? Matterport, 25.74. ME, 11.31. Spire, 5.40, up a dime. And ATIP, 419.5, up 17.5 cents. SmartRent, 10.92. Sextera, 10.31. The ATIP high of the day, 426.6. So we're still about 6 or so cents away, 6, 7 cents away from the high of the day on ATIP. Patience and profits, says Nelson. Absolutely, Dave. Sell covered calls at the peak, not the dip. Exactly. Sell covered calls at the peak if you can, and score a nice return. Yes, indeed. GameStop 210.79. Is this a peak? It looks like one. Maybe 210s, 212s, 215s might be the option to write on GameStop here. Okay, we're only down 6 cents on Rocket Lab now, 14.31. Slowly coming in here. We'll see if it can get through it or not. All right. What a day today. What a day. Talk about a stink bid. I got Matterport March 18, $35 call for 39 cents a few weeks ago. It's now at 245. Nice, Mikey or Mickey. Way to go, buddy. Nice. Wrote more SoFi calls because I'm not lucky now for GameStop calls. Looking to let them expire. Fortunate. Ayworth, every time ATP hits 420, you know what to do. Riven is too good to be true. Be fearful when somebody's greedy, a wise man once said. There you go. Exactly, Nelson. We like the PP. SoFi now 23.74, up 99 cents. We're down 6 on Rocket Lab, 211 on GameStop. Options getting more attractive. Matterport 25.85, ME 1130, Spire 540, ATIP 421 now, up 19. Volume on ATIP 846,000. We've got Smart Rent at 1094 and Sixter at 1032. They're teasing my 500 Spire order. I said at 539. Come on, man. What are you trying to buy or sell? You're right there. Stinky paper. Woohoo, ME. Stinky paper on ME. 1131 on ME. Okay. Very good, everybody. We're up 75 on the Dow. We're up 469 on S&P. We're down 12 on NASDAQ. We're still down 79 cents on oil at 80 bucks even right now. Thank you, Matthew, new member. Thank you, Matthew, for being here. AB, I recall the break even on ATIP when it was around 275 a share for like December 22 at 2.5 calls. It was like 4. Congrats to those printing on those contracts. False. Oh, yeah, buying more. Those 250 contracts on ATIP at 420 a share. You're $1.70 in the money and you're climbing, kids. You are climbing and you're going to keep on climbing. Looking great. The 5s are now only 80 cents away and ATIP is only 120 behind Spire. It's only 120 behind that stock. It's coming to get it. It looks like it's coming on. We'll see. We will see. 25.80 on Matterport, 23.71 on SoFi. Thank you all. Thank you all for your support. We're going to be on again today at 3 o'clock on this channel for the final hour of trading today. We'll keep an eye on all these stocks, of course. I'll be on Traveling with Bruce, my other channel, 7 o'clock tonight for members only with trivia, and 8 o'clock for the big show, travel news, cruise ship news, what's going on out there. We'll do that at 8 o'clock. Anyone is welcome. Everybody's welcome. 8 o'clock tonight on Traveling with Bruce, my other channel. I got to do 4 lives today. 4 live shows. This is number 1. Okay. All right. I'll take a break. See you later. Enjoy the day, y'all. Thank you, Splair. Number 4, Uncle Bruce. Where do the stink bids come from? Your mind. You put them in yourself. Have a good lunch, everybody. Yep. About that time. See you in the afternoon. AB. Thank you for my January 2020 break. Even 371. Let's see. In short order. Weeks, months, ATIP will be around 10, 12, Spire at 20. Is everybody welcome tonight for trivia? Of course, but it's members only on that channel. Thanks, everybody, says John. Matthew, Uncle Bruce, at what point do you just cut losses on a covered call? The stock got away from me, and now rolling doesn't seem to have a real option to roll. Why would that be? How could that be possible? I think you always have an option to roll. There's always ways to roll. There should be no problem to roll whatsoever. Get some rest. Love you, folks. Bruce hit the ground running on Monday. Thank you, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Uncle B. See you in a few hours. Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah, man. Let's see what we can do here. Spire 540, ATIP 421. Cool beans, baby. Cool beans. 210 on GameStop. The Dow is up 72, S&P up 4, Nasdaq down 14. Awesome show today, Uncle Bruce. See you later. The Bagel family. Level. No gun, but one to be fun for me. All right, it's fun. It's fun. It's always fun. All right, guys, I'll see you today at 3 o'clock right here on this channel for the final hour of training. Let's see how we do today. Thank you for all your support. Thanks for the kind words, donations, and everything else. We'll see you this afternoon at 3. Bye for now.